The Zephyrian battlecruiser Void Reaper breached Earth's atmosphere with a thunderous roar, its hull glowing red-hot, but as the ship's hatch hissed open, Admiral Kraz's triumphant bellow transformed into a desperate, wheezing gasp. Kraz's 4 eyes bulged as he stumbled onto the landing ramp, his spindly frame buckling under an invisible weight. The air, this cursed Terran air, felt like liquid fire in his lungs. Each breath was a battle, every inhalation a struggle against the crushing pressure of this alien world. "Status report," he wheezed into his communicator, fighting to maintain composure as his crew spilled out behind him, each Zephyrian warrior succumbing to the same inexplicable affliction. "Admiral," his second in command, Vex, rasped. "The atmosphere, it's too dense. Our bodies weren't built for this." Kraz's mandibles clicked in frustration. Their intel had been woefully inadequate. How could they have missed such a crucial detail? The Zephyrian Imperium had conquered hundreds of worlds, but none like this. Meanwhile, just over the ridge, US Air Force Commander Jack Harper peered through his binoculars, his jaw clenched tight. He'd been expecting a lot of things when the alien ship appeared on radar, but this was unprecedented. "Sir," his aide whispered urgently, "shouldn't we engage?" Harper held up a hand, signaling for patience. Something wasn't right. The aliens were floundering, gasping like fish out of water. It didn't make sense until suddenly it did. "My God," Harper muttered, a plan already forming in his mind. "It's the air. They can't handle our atmosphere." He turned to his team, eyes blazing with newfound hope. "Get me a direct line to command. We may have just found our edge in this war." Back at the landing site, Kraz struggled to his feet, determination overriding the burning in his lungs. They hadn't come this far to be defeated by mere air. "Vex," he growled, "deploy the terraforming beacons. We'll reshape this world's atmosphere to match our own." As Zephyrian troops fanned out, setting up ominous devices around the perimeter, Harper's voice crackled over the secure channel to Earth's Unified Defense Command. "This is Commander Harper. The invaders are vulnerable to our atmosphere. I repeat, Earth's air is their weakness. We need to weaponize it, and fast." The response was immediate. "Understood, Commander. All available resources are at your disposal. What's your plan?" Harper's eyes narrowed as he watched the aliens working on their strange machines. "We're going to give these invaders a breath of fresh air, and it's going to be the last thing they ever breathe." As night fell over the battlefield, both sides raced against time. The Zephyrians, desperate to alter Earth's atmosphere before it overwhelmed them, and humanity, determined to turn their very world into a weapon. The war for Earth had begun, and every breath could mean the difference between victory and extinction. Commander Harper's makeshift war room buzzed with frantic energy. Scientists, military strategists, and engineers huddled around holographic displays, their faces illuminated by the eerie glow of alien tech schematics. "The Zephyrians' terraforming beacons," Dr. Eliza Lai explained, pointing to a 3D model. "They're attempting to create localized low-pressure zones. If they succeed, they'll have bubbles of breathable air for their troops." Harper nodded grimly. "And how long before they can expand these zones?" "At their current rate, maybe 72 hours before they can link the bubbles into a sustainable area." "Then we have 72 hours to stop them," Harper declared. "What's our progress on weaponizing the atmosphere?" A grizzled engineer named Garrett stepped forward. "We've repurposed some high-altitude weather modification tech. In theory, we can create hyperdense air pockets like invisible walls of concrete to them." "Good. What else?" "We're working on aerosolized compounds," a biochemist chimed in. "Harmless to us, but they'll react with the Zephyrians' biology, making our air even more unbreathable for them." As the team debated strategies, a young lieutenant burst into the room. "Sir, urgent transmission from the front lines." The main screen flickered to life, showing a haggard soldier. "Commander, the aliens. They're adapting. Some kind of personal shield tech. It's not perfect, but it's buying them time." Harper's fist clenched. Of course, it wouldn't be that easy. Understood. Hold the line, soldier. Help is coming. As the transmission cut, Harper turned to his team. We need to move faster. Every second counts. Across the battlefield, Admiral Kraz surveyed his troops from inside a shimmering bubble of altered air. The personal shields were helping, but they were a stopgap measure at best. Already, several had failed, their users collapsing in Earth's oppressive atmosphere. Admiral, Vex approached. His movements labored even within the shield. Our scouts report human activity to the west. They appear to be constructing something. Kraz's eyes narrowed. They've discovered our weakness. Accelerate the terraforming process. We must secure a foothold before they can mount a proper defense. As Kraz issued orders, a Zephyrian scientist interrupted. Sir, we've analyzed the Terran atmosphere. There's something odd about it. Explain, Kraz demanded. It's not just the pressure. There's a compound oxygen, they call it. In high concentrations, it's highly reactive. Our biology isn't equipped to process it efficiently. The longer we stay, the more it burns us from the inside. Kraz absorbed this information, his tactical mind racing. They'd chosen Earth for its resources, its strategic position in the galaxy. But now, the planet itself was becoming their greatest enemy. Options, he barked. We could try to filter it out, the scientist suggested. Create oxygen-free zones within our terraformed areas. Kraz nodded. Do it. And double the guard on our terraforming beacons. They're our lifeline now. As night deepened, both sides worked feverishly. The humans refining their atmospheric weapons, and the Zephyrians struggling to carve out a breathable foothold on this hostile world. In the war room, Harper stared at the tactical display, watching the alien-controlled zones slowly expand. They were running out of time. He needed a game-changer, something the Zephyrians wouldn't expect. That's when inspiration struck. Get me the Air Force's Experimental Aircraft Division, he ordered. I think it's time we took this fight to the skies. As dawn broke over the horizon, neither side knew that the next 24 hours would determine the fate of Earth, and that the greatest battle would be fought not on the ground, but in the very air they breathed. The experimental hangar doors groaned open, revealing a sleek, obsidian aircraft unlike anything the world had seen before. Its hull shimmered with an almost liquid quality, designed to manipulate the very air around it. The Tempest, the lead engineer announced proudly, capable of creating localized atmospheric disturbances on a massive scale. Harper ran his hand along the craft's smooth surface, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. And you're sure it can withstand the extreme conditions we're planning? The engineer nodded confidently. It's built to dive into the eye of a hurricane and come out unscathed. What you're proposing is, well, it's insane, but if any bird can do it, it's this one. Good, Harper said, climbing into the cockpit. Because insane is exactly what we need right now. As Harper familiarized himself with the controls, Dr. Lai's voice crackled over the comm. Commander, we've finished analyzing the data from the Zephyrian beacons. There's a critical flaw in their design. I'm listening, Harper replied, his fingers dancing over the instrument panel. They're using a resonance frequency to alter the atmospheric composition. If we can disrupt that frequency, we can shatter their safe zones, Harper finished. Excellent work, Doctor. Send the frequency data to the Tempest. We'll hit them where it hurts. As the sun climbed higher, casting long shadows across the battlefield, the Tempest rose into the sky with a near-silent hum. Harper felt the G-forces press him into his seat as he accelerated towards the Zephyrian-controlled zones. Meanwhile, in the alien command center, alarms blared. Admiral Kraz stumbled to the holographic display, his breathing labored even within their protected bubble. What is it now? He wheezed. Vex pointed to a blinking dot on the screen. Unknown aircraft approaching at high speed. Our defenses can't get a lock on it. Kraz's eyes widened. Impossible. Nothing should be able to penetrate our jamming field. But as they watched, the dot continued its inexorable approach. High above, Harper grinned as he saw the alien defenses trying and failing to target him. The Tempest's stealth systems were working perfectly. He keyed his radio. "This is Harper. I'm approaching the first terraforming beacon. Initiating atmospheric disruption in 3, 2, 1. He flipped a switch, and the world outside his cockpit window seemed to ripple. The Tempest's specialized emitters pulsed, sending waves of precisely calibrated energy into the air around the Zephyrian beacon. On the ground, the effect was immediate and catastrophic. The shimmering bubble of alien-friendly atmosphere flickered and then collapsed entirely. Zephyrian soldiers caught in the affected area dropped to their knees, gasping and clawing at their throats as Earth's full atmospheric pressure crashed down upon them. Kraz watched in horror as sector after sector of their hard-won territory winked out on the display. "No," he roared, smashing a fist against the console. "Launch all fighters. Bring that human aircraft down." But the Zephyrian pilots, already struggling in the oppressive atmosphere, were no match for Harper and the Tempest. The human craft danced through the sky, always one step ahead, leaving a trail of failed beacons and gasping aliens in its wake. As Harper banked hard to avoid a barrage of alien energy weapons, he keyed his radio again. "Command, this is Harper. Phase 1 is a success. Their atmospheric bubbles are collapsing, but they're adapting fast. We need to move to Phase 2 before they can regroup." Back at the command center, Dr. Lai nodded grimly. "Understood, Commander. The aerosolized compound is ready. But sir, we haven't had time to test it thoroughly. The effects on the Zephyrians could be extreme." Harper's jaw clenched as he weighed the decision. Earth's future hung in the balance. "We're out of options, Doctor. Deploy the compound. Let's show these invaders that every breath they take on our world will be their last." As Harper turned the Tempest back towards the main Zephyrian stronghold, Earth's defenders prepared to unleash their most potent weapon yet. The air itself was about to become a silent, invisible army, ready to suffocate the alien threat once and for all. The Tempest's engines roared as Harper pushed the aircraft to its limits, racing back towards the primary Zephyrian stronghold. Behind him, a fleet of retrofitted cargo planes lumbered into the sky, their holds filled with canisters of the untested aerosolized compound. "All units, this is Commander Harper," he broadcast on a secure channel. "Remember, once we release this compound, there's no going back. Mask up and proceed with extreme caution." Acknowledgments flooded in from the strike team. They all knew the stakes. As the armada of human aircraft approached the alien-controlled zone, the sky erupted with anti-aircraft fire. Zephyrian fighters, their pilots wheezing inside pressurized cockpits, rose to meet the threat. Harper's fingers danced across the Tempest's controls, the aircraft responding like an extension of his own body. He weaved through the barrage, drawing the aliens' attention away from the more vulnerable cargo planes. "Now," he shouted into his comm, "release the compound." From the cargo holds of the human planes, thousands of canisters dropped, their contents dispersing into a fine mist that quickly spread through the air currents. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Then, chaos erupted. Zephyrian soldiers on the ground began to convulse, their already labored breathing becoming even more desperate. The compound was reacting with their alien biology, turning Earth's atmosphere from merely oppressive to actively toxic. Inside the Zephyrian command center, alarms blared as environmental sensors went haywire. Admiral Kraz stumbled to his feet, feeling the effects even through his protective gear. "What's happening?" he demanded, his voice a raspy whisper. Vex, struggling to remain upright, gestured weakly at the readings. "The humans. They've weaponized their air. Our filters can't keep up. We're being poisoned with every breath." Kraz's mind raced. They had underestimated these humans at every turn. What he had thought would be a simple conquest was turning into a nightmare. But he wasn't ready to admit defeat. Not yet. "Activate the void spheres," he ordered, his voice grim. Vex's eyes widened in shock. But sir, they're untested. The energy requirements alone could— Do it, Kraz roared, immediately regretting the outburst as his lungs burned. It's our only chance. Outside, Harper watched in a mix of triumph and horror as the Zephyrian forces crumbled, but his victory was short-lived. Massive, spherical devices began to rise from the alien stronghold, their surfaces crackling with otherworldly energy. "Command, are you seeing this?" Harper asked, banking the Tempest hard to avoid a sudden burst of energy from one of the spheres. Dr. Lai's voice came through, tense and worried. "We're picking up massive energy spikes, Commander. Whatever those devices are, they're altering the very fabric of space-time around them." As they watched, the air around the spheres began to shimmer and distort. Pockets of vacuum formed, expanding rapidly, swallowing up the toxic atmosphere and anything else in their path. "My God," Harper breathed. "They're creating voids, bubbles of nothingness." The implications hit him like a punch to the gut. In those voids, there would be no air to poison the Zephyrians, no atmosphere to crush them. It was the ultimate countermeasure. "All units, fall back," Harper ordered, pushing the Tempest into a steep climb to avoid the expanding voids. "Regroup at safe distance and await further orders." As the human forces retreated, the Zephyrian stronghold became surrounded by a patchwork of shimmering voids, like soap bubbles of emptiness. Inside these pockets, the alien invaders found refuge from Earth's hostile environment. Harper landed the Tempest back at the command center, his mind racing. They had dealt the aliens a significant blow, but this new development changed everything. As he strode into the war room, he was met with grim faces. "Talk to me," he demanded. "What are we dealing with?" Dr. Lai stepped forward, her expression grave. "Those devices, we're calling them void spheres. They're creating localized areas of null space. No air, no gravity, no anything. Our weapons, our atmospheric tactics, they're all useless against that." Harper absorbed this, his jaw clenching. "So we're back to square one." "Not quite," a gruff voice interjected. It was Garrett, the engineer. "Those voids, they're not natural. It's taking a massive amount of energy to maintain them. If we can disrupt that energy flow—" Harper nodded, a spark of determination in his eyes. "Then the voids collapse, and the Zephyrians are back to sucking wind. All right, people, we've got work to do. The aliens think they've found a safe haven. Let's show them there's no escaping Earth's atmosphere. Not while we're still breathing." As the team huddled around, brainstorming their next move, Harper cast a glance at the tactical display. The Zephyrian stronghold pulsed with an otherworldly glow, a bastion of alien technology amidst the familiar landscape of Earth. The next phase of the battle was about to begin, and Harper knew it would determine not just the fate of this invasion, but potentially the future of human civilization itself. The war room hummed with tense energy as Harper and his team pored over holographic models of the Zephyrian void spheres. Garrett, the grizzled engineer, manipulated the display with practiced ease, highlighting the energy conduits feeding the alien devices. "These are our primary targets," Garrett explained, his voice gruff. "Disrupt the energy flow, and the whole system should come crashing down." Dr. Lai interjected, her brow furrowed. "But how do we get close enough? Our conventional weapons can't penetrate those voids, and any aircraft that approaches risks being swallowed up." Harper's eyes narrowed, a plan already forming. "We go under them. Garrett, what's the status on Project Mole?" The engineer's eyes lit up with understanding. "It's ready, sir. Been waiting for a chance to use it." For the benefit of the others, Harper explained, Project Mole is a series of subterranean drilling vehicles, designed for rapid underground deployment. If we can't attack from above, we'll hit them from below. As the team discussed logistics, a young lieutenant burst into the room. "Commander, urgent transmission from the Zephyrian command ship. They're requesting a parley." Silence fell over the war room. Harper's jaw clenched. "Put it through." The main screen flickered to life, revealing Admiral Kraz's gaunt face. Even through the distortion of the void, Harper could see the toll Earth's atmosphere had taken on the alien leader. "Commander Harper," Kraz wheezed, his voice barely above a whisper. "I propose a ceasefire to discuss terms." Harper's eyes narrowed. "Terms? You invaded our world, Admiral. The only terms I'm interested in are those of your unconditional surrender." Kraz's mandibles clicked in what might have been a laugh. Bold words, from a species that was on the brink of defeat mere hours ago. "We have adapted. Your atmosphere no longer threatens us within our voids. This war could drag on for years, devastating your world." "What's your point, Kraz?" "A compromise. We will withdraw from populated areas. In exchange, we request a small territory to establish a permanent colony, a foothold in this sector of the galaxy." Harper's fist clenched at his sides. The offer was tempting. End the war now, save countless lives. But at what cost? "I'll need time to consult with Earth's leaders," Harper replied, his voice level. Kraz nodded weakly. "You have one planetary rotation. Choose wisely, Commander." As the transmission cut, the war room erupted into heated debate. Some argued for accepting the offer, others vehemently opposed any compromise. Harper silenced them with a raised hand. "We've been reactive long enough. It's time we took the initiative. Garrett, prep the mole units. Dr. Lai, I need you to analyze every scrap of data we have on those void spheres. Find me a weakness." As the team dispersed, Harper pulled aside his most trusted lieutenant. "Contact every major military power. I want their best special forces units ready to deploy within 6 hours." The lieutenant's eyes widened. "Sir, are you suggesting?" Harper's gaze was steel. "We're going to give the Zephyrians an answer, all right? But not the one they're expecting." Over the next few hours, the command center became a hive of activity. Mole units were prepped and loaded with specially designed disruptor charges. Elite soldiers from around the world converged, briefed on a mission that could determine the fate of humanity. As the deadline approached, Harper stood before the assembled strike team. Men and women from a dozen nations, each a specialist in their field, all united against a common threat. "What we're about to attempt has never been done before," Harper began, his voice carrying across the hangar. "We'll be entering an environment hostile to human life, facing an enemy with superior technology. But remember this: every breath you take is a reminder of what we're fighting for. Earth is our home, and today, we show these invaders that humanity will not go quietly into the night." A chorus of determined shouts echoed through the hangar. As the soldiers boarded the mole units and the massive drills began to whir to life, Harper felt a mix of pride and apprehension. They were about to dive into the unknown, quite literally. He keyed his comm one last time before boarding his own unit. "All teams, this is Harper. Operation Earthshaker is go. May your aim be true and your hearts be strong. The fate of our world rests in your hands." As the mole units began their descent, burrowing deep into the Earth's crust, Harper allowed himself one last look at the sky above. Somewhere up there, Kraz was waiting for an answer. Little did the alien admiral know, humanity's response was already tunneling its way towards the heart of the Zephyrian stronghold, ready to shatter their false sense of security and reclaim Earth's atmosphere once and for all. The Earth trembled as the mole units burrowed through layers of rock and soil, their reinforced hulls creaking under the immense pressure. Inside the lead vehicle, Harper gripped the control panel, his eyes fixed on the depth gauge. "All units, report status," he commanded over the secure channel. A chorus of affirmatives crackled through the comm. So far, so good. They were approaching the calculated position beneath the Zephyrian stronghold. "Sir," his co-pilot warned, "seismic readings are off the charts. The void spheres are affecting subterranean stability." Harper nodded grimly. "Noted. All units, prepare for possible cavern collapses. We may have to improvise our exit strategy." As they neared their target depth, Dr. Lai's voice came through, tense but controlled. Commander, we've completed our analysis of the void sphere energy signatures. There's a fluctuation in their power output every 7.3 minutes. It's brief, but during that moment, the void's integrity weakens. Copy that, Harper replied. We'll time our assault to coincide with those fluctuations. Transmit the timing data to all units. The mole units ground to a halt, their drills falling silent. Harper took a deep breath, knowing that above them, separated by meters of rock and an impossible void, the Zephyrians waited, unaware of the threat literally beneath their feet. Deploy disruptor charges, Harper ordered. Synchronize detonation with the next void fluctuation. As his team worked, setting the charges with practiced efficiency, Harper's mind raced through the next steps of the plan. The charges would destabilize the void spheres from below, creating a momentary weakness. That's when the real attack would begin. Charges set, came the report from his explosives expert. Detonation in 30 seconds. Harper keyed his comm. All personnel, brace for impact and prepare for rapid ascent. Remember your training. In the void, there's no up or down. Use your tethers and trust your equipment. The seconds ticked by, each one feeling like an eternity. Then, with a muffled roar that shook the very bedrock, the charges detonated. Above ground, in the Zephyrian command center, alarms blared as the void spheres fluctuated wildly. Admiral Kraz stumbled to his feet, mandibles clicking in agitation. "What's happening?" he demanded. Before anyone could respond, the ground beneath them heaved. Fissures appeared in the alien structure, and through these cracks, the impossible happened. Earth's atmosphere, thick and heavy, began to seep in. "Impossible," Kraz wheezed, feeling the pressure building. "Seal the breaches, stabilize the voids." But it was too late. As Zephyrian troops scrambled to respond, the fissures widened, and from these gaps emerged figures in sleek, armored suits, moving with deadly purpose. Harper led the charge, his specially designed exosuit allowing him to navigate the chaotic environment where pockets of void space collided with Earth's atmosphere. He watched with grim satisfaction as the Zephyrians reeled, caught completely off guard by an attack from below. "All units, fan out and secure your objectives," Harper ordered. "Remember, we need to take out their void generators. Without those, they've got nowhere to hide." The battle that ensued was like nothing in human history. In pockets of breathable air, human soldiers clashed with Zephyrian defenders. Where void still held, the fight became a zero-gravity ballet of death, with both sides using grappling hooks and maneuvering thrusters to navigate the impossible space. Harper fought his way towards the central control room, every step a struggle against fluctuating gravity and pockets of vacuum. He could see the main void generator ahead, a massive pulsing orb of otherworldly energy. Suddenly, a familiar figure loomed before him. Admiral Kraz, encased in a bulky life support suit, blocked Harper's path. "You!" the alien leader rasped. "How? How did you penetrate our defenses?" Harper's voice was cold steel through his suit's speakers. "You made one crucial mistake, Admiral. You assumed that just because we couldn't breathe in your voids, we couldn't fight in them. But humanity's greatest strength has always been our ability to adapt." Kraz raised a weapon, some sort of energy pistol, but Harper was faster. With a quick burst from his suit's thrusters, he closed the distance. The two leaders grappled in the fluctuating gravity, a desperate struggle that would determine the fate of two species. As they fought, Harper could see his teams making progress through the facility. Void generators were going offline one by one, and with each deactivation, more of Earth's atmosphere flooded in. With a final, desperate move, Harper managed to damage Kraz's suit, exposing the alien to the full brunt of Earth's atmosphere. The Zephyrian admiral gasped and stumbled back, his weapon falling from nerveless fingers. "It's over, Kraz," Harper declared, standing over his fallen foe. "Call off your forces. End this invasion now." Kraz looked up, his alien features contorted in what might have been resignation, or perhaps respect. You've won, human. But know this. We are not the only ones out there. Others will come. As Zephyrian forces began to surrender across the facility, Harper keyed his comm. Command, this is Harper. The alien stronghold is secured. I repeat, Earth is ours. Cheers erupted over the channel, but Harper's mind was already racing ahead. Kraz's warning echoed in his thoughts. This victory was monumental, but it was only the beginning. Humanity had proven itself on the galactic stage, but greater challenges lay ahead. As he helped secure the Zephyrian leadership, Harper gazed out a viewport at the Earth below, its atmosphere no longer a liability, but a shield that had saved humanity. They had won this battle with ingenuity and courage. Whatever came next, Harper knew one thing for certain: humanity was ready. The days following the decisive battle were a whirlwind of activity. As Earth celebrated its unlikely victory, Harper found himself thrust into the center of a new challenge, dealing with the aftermath of humanity's first extraterrestrial conflict. In a hastily converted conference room at the United Nations, Harper stood before a panel of world leaders, his uniform crisp despite the exhaustion evident in his eyes. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his voice carrying the weight of recent events. "While we've successfully repelled the Zephyrian invasion, we cannot afford to rest on our laurels." Admiral Kraz's warning was clear: we are not alone in this galaxy, and we may face greater threats in the future. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. A stern-faced woman, the U.S. President, leaned forward. "What do you propose, Commander Harper?" Harper activated a holographic display, showing schematics of Zephyrian technology. "We've gained access to advanced alien tech. I propose we establish a global initiative to reverse engineer and adapt these technologies for Earth's defense." "And the prisoners?" a European leader inquired. "What of the captured Zephyrians?" Harper's jaw tightened. This was the most contentious part of his proposal. "I recommend we treat them as prisoners of war, but also as a valuable resource. Their knowledge could be crucial for understanding the wider galactic community and preparing for future encounters." The debate that followed was heated. Some leaders advocated for a more aggressive stance, suggesting the complete dismantling of Zephyrian technology and harsh treatment of prisoners. Others urged caution, fearing that rapid technological advancement could destabilize global politics. As the arguments raged, Harper's mind drifted to a conversation he'd had with Kraz during the alien leaders' debriefing. "You don't understand what you've done," Kraz had wheezed. His breath labored in the oxygenated chamber. "By defeating us, you've announced your presence to the galaxy. Others will come, driven by curiosity or conquest." Harper had leaned in, his voice low. "Then help us prepare. Your people tried to take our world by force. Help us defend it, and perhaps we can find a way for both our species to coexist." The alien's multiple eyes had blinked in what might have been surprise. "You would trust us, after everything?" "Trust, but verify," Harper had replied. "It's a human saying. We're offering a chance at redemption, Admiral. Don't waste it." Now, standing before Earth's leaders, Harper cleared his throat, silencing the debate. "We stand at a crossroads," he declared. "We can let fear drive us to isolation, or we can seize this opportunity to propel humanity forward. I propose a third option: controlled advancement coupled with diplomatic outreach." He outlined a bold plan, using Zephyrian technology to enhance Earth's defenses while simultaneously preparing diplomatic missions to seek out peaceful contact with other alien civilizations. "We've proven we can defend ourselves," Harper concluded. "Now let's prove we can be more than just warriors. Let's show the galaxy that humanity is ready to take its place among the stars." The silence that followed was profound. Then, slowly, leaders began to nod. The U.S. President stood. "I move to create a new global organization, United Earth Defense and Exploration Command. Commander Harper, I nominate you to lead it." As agreements were made and plans set in motion, Harper felt the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. They had won the battle for Earth's atmosphere, but the war for humanity's future was just beginning. Weeks later, Harper stood on the observation deck of humanity's first faster-than-light-capable ship, built with a fusion of human ingenuity and Zephyrian technology. Beside him stood a familiar figure, Kraz, now serving as an advisor and liaison. "Are you ready for this, human?" the Zephyrian asked, his voice carrying a mix of anticipation and trepidation. Harper's gaze was fixed on the stars beyond. "Ready or not, the galaxy awaits. We've learned to weaponize our atmosphere. Now it's time to learn how to extend the hand of friendship." As the ship's engines hummed to life, preparing for its maiden voyage, Harper couldn't help but smile. They had turned Earth's very air into a weapon, but now that same indomitable spirit would drive them to explore, to understand, and perhaps to find allies among the stars. The breathless conquest had been just the beginning. Humanity's true adventure was about to unfold. The starship Earthborn glided silently through the Inkai void of space, its sleek hull a testament to the marriage of human and Zephyrian technology. On the bridge, Commander Jack Harper stood with his hands clasped behind his back, gazing out at the unfamiliar star systems streaking past. "Status report," he called out, his voice steady despite the nervous energy thrumming through the ship. Dr. Lai, now Chief Science Officer, looked up from her console. "All systems nominal, Commander. The Zephyrian FTL drive is performing beyond expectations. At this rate, we'll reach the coordinates of the nearest potentially inhabited system within 48 hours. Harper nodded, a mix of pride and apprehension washing over him. In the months since the invasion, humanity had made unprecedented technological leaps. The Earthborn was their crowning achievement, a vessel capable of crossing vast interstellar distances, armed with defenses derived from their hard-won victory against the Zephyrians. Kraz, standing to the side in his specialized environment suit, clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. "I must admit, Harper, your species' rate of adaptation is unsettling. In my many cycles of conquest, I've never seen anything like it." Harper allowed himself a small smile. "That's humanity for you, Admiral. We're too stubborn to know when we're outmatched." Their banter was interrupted by an urgent call from the sensor station. "Commander, we're picking up an anomalous reading dead ahead. It doesn't match any known stellar phenomena." Harper's eyes narrowed. On screen, the main view screen flickered to life, showing a swirling vortex of energy, pulsing with colors that seemed to defy description. Kraz stumbled back, his alien features contorting in what Harper had learned to recognize as fear. "Impossible," the Zephyrian wheezed. "It can't be." "You know what this is?" Harper demanded. Kraz nodded slowly. "We called them nexus points, gateways between galaxies. But they were thought to be myths, stories to frighten hatchlings." As the crew watched in awe, the vortex pulsed, and from its depths emerged a ship. No, not just a ship, a fleet. Vessels of various designs and sizes, some dwarfing the Earthborn, others barely larger than shuttlecraft. "Red alert," Harper ordered, his training kicking in. "Shields up, weapons on standby. Open a channel to the lead vessel." For a tense moment, there was no response. Then, the view screen changed, revealing a being unlike anything they had ever seen. It appeared to be composed of pure energy, its form constantly shifting and flowing. "Greeting, travelers," the being's voice resonated directly in their minds. "We are the guardians of the Nexus. Your presence here is unexpected." Harper stepped forward, drawing on all his diplomatic training. "I am Commander Jack Harper of Earth. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and alliance." The being's form shimmered, and Harper felt a sensation like amused laughter in his mind. "Peace? How curious. Your vessel bristles with weapons, and you travel with one known to us as a conqueror." Its gaze seemed to pierce through Kraz, who shrank back. "We've had our differences," Harper admitted, "but we're learning to work together. Our world was recently threatened, and we seek to understand our place in the galaxy." The Guardian's form pulsed thoughtfully. "Your honesty is refreshing, Commander Harper of Earth. But you must understand, the Nexus is not merely a gateway between stars. It is a crossroads of destinies. Those who pass through must be deemed worthy. Harper felt a chill run down his spine. Worthy? How do we prove ourselves worthy? The being's form expanded, filling the view screen. A test, Commander. One that will challenge not just your technology or your strength, but the very essence of what makes your species unique. Before Harper could respond, the Earthborn was enveloped in a field of shimmering energy. Alarms blared as ship systems began to fluctuate wildly. What's happening? Harper demanded, gripping his command chair as the ship shuddered. Dr. Lai's voice was tight with tension. Commander, the ship's atmosphere, it's changing. Becoming denser, more like Earth's, Kras finished, his breathing becoming labored even in his suit. They're recreating the conditions of your world. As the realization dawned, Harper understood the true nature of the test. It wasn't just about survival, it was about cooperation, adaptation, and the lessons learned from their recent conflict. All hands, Harper called out, his voice firm despite the growing pressure. Remember your training. We've faced worse than this and come out stronger. Kras, we're going to need your expertise to modify the environmental systems. As the crew scrambled to adapt, Harper locked eyes with a Guardian on the screen. We're ready for your test. Whatever challenges you throw at us, know this: humanity doesn't stand alone anymore. We face the future united with each other, and with those we once called enemies. The Guardian's form seemed to smile, though it was hard to tell with a being of pure energy. Then let the trial begin, children of Earth. Show us what you're truly capable of. As the Earthborn was drawn deeper into the Nexus, Harper knew that the greatest test of humanity's resilience was just beginning. The battle for Earth's atmosphere had been won, but now they faced a challenge that would determine not just their fate, but potentially the course of galactic history. With a deep breath of the thickening air, Harper steeled himself for whatever lay ahead. The next chapter of humanity's cosmic adventure was about to unfold, and he was determined to prove that Earth's children were ready for anything the universe could throw at them. The atmosphere inside the Earthborn grew heavier with each passing moment, the air thick and oppressive. Crew members struggled to move, their movements sluggish, as if wading through invisible molasses. Harper's mind raced, piecing together the nature of this cosmic test. Dr. Lai, he called out, his voice strained, analyze the atmospheric composition. Kras, I need options for modifying our life support systems. As the two worked feverishly at their stations, Harper turned to address the Guardian, whose energy form still dominated the view screen. What exactly are the parameters of this test? What are you hoping to learn about us? The Guardian's voice resonated in their minds, a mix of curiosity and challenge. Your species faced extinction, yet turned your greatest vulnerability into strength. Show us how you adapt, how you innovate. Prove that your victory was not mere chance, but the result of something uniquely human. Harper's jaw set with determination. Understood. We won't disappoint you. Dr. Lai's voice cut through the tension. Commander, atmospheric analysis complete. It's not just denser, the air contains complex compounds I've never seen before. They're reacting with our biology, making it harder for us to process oxygen. Kras, his breathing labored even in his suit, added, It's similar to how Earth's atmosphere affected my people. A cruel irony, wouldn't you agree, Harper? A plan began to form in Harper's mind. Not irony, Kras. Opportunity. We learned from our conflict with your people. Now it's time to apply those lessons. He turned to his crew, voice firm despite the struggle to breathe. Listen up. We beat the Zephyrians by weaponizing our atmosphere. Now we need to do the opposite. We need to master it, to make it work for all of us. Harper outlined his plan rapidly. They would use modified versions of the atmospheric manipulation technology they had developed to defend Earth, combined with Zephyrian biofilters to create localized pockets of breathable air throughout the ship. Dr. Lai, start synthesizing a compound that can neutralize these alien elements. Kras, I need you to help calibrate our systems to work for both human and Zephyrian physiology. The rest of you, prepare to redistribute our atmospheric processors throughout the ship." As the crew sprang into action, Harper felt a surge of pride. Despite the crushing pressure and alien air, they moved with purpose, human and Zephyrian working side by side. Hours passed in a blur of frantic activity. The ship's corridors became a patchwork of atmospheric zones, some dense and alien, others light and breathable. Crew members moved between them, adapting on the fly, using breather masks and makeshift gear to navigate the changing environments. Through it all, the Guardians watched silently, their energy forms shimmering with what might have been approval or disappointment. It was impossible to tell. Finally, as Harper was helping to install the last atmospheric processor, Dr. Ly's excited voice came over the comm. "Commander, we've done it. The new compound is neutralizing the alien elements. We can start purifying the entire ship's atmosphere." A cheer went up from the crew, quickly stifled by the still dense air. Harper allowed himself a small smile before turning back to the main view screen. "Guardians of the Nexus," he announced, standing tall despite the oppressive atmosphere, "we've adapted to your challenge. We've taken an environment that was hostile to both humans and Zephyrians and made it work for us all. Not through conquest or terraforming, but through understanding and cooperation." The lead Guardian's form pulsed with what seemed like approval. "Impressive, Commander Harper. You've shown resourcefulness, adaptability, and most importantly, the ability to work alongside those who were once your enemies. But tell us, what have you learned from this experience?" Harper paused, considering his words carefully. "We've learned that our greatest strength lies not in our technology or our resilience alone, but in our ability to come together in the face of adversity. Humans and Zephyrians, two species who were at war mere months ago, just worked in harmony to overcome a challenge that would have defeated either of us alone." He gestured to Kraz, who stepped forward. The Zephyrian's posture, even in his cumbersome suit, radiated a newfound respect. "Moreover," Harper continued, "we've learned that the key to surviving in this vast, unknown galaxy isn't about dominating every environment we encounter. It's about understanding it, adapting to it, and finding ways to coexist with it and with whoever we might meet along the way." The Guardians conferred silently for a moment, their energy forms intertwining in a dance of light and color. Finally, the lead Guardian addressed them once more. "You have passed our test, children of Earth, and yes, that includes you, Zephyrian. The Nexus opens to you, and with it, the myriad paths of destiny that lie beyond. Use this gateway wisely, for great opportunities and great perils await." As the ship's systems began to normalize and the alien atmosphere dissipated, Harper felt a weight lift from his shoulders. They had faced the unknown and emerged stronger, wiser. But he knew this was just the beginning. "Thank you, Guardians," Harper said, his voice filled with determination. "We're ready for whatever lies ahead." As the Earthborn prepared to enter the swirling vortex of the Nexus, Harper gazed out at the star-studded expanse beyond. They had conquered the challenges of Earth's atmosphere, survived an alien invasion, and now stood on the threshold of a new era of exploration and discovery. Whatever breathtaking wonders or breathless perils awaited them on the other side of the Nexus, Harper knew one thing for certain: humanity, and their newfound allies, were ready to face it all, one breath at a time. The Earthborn emerged from the Nexus in a burst of scintillating energy, its hull gleaming under the light of unfamiliar stars. On the bridge, Commander Harper and his crew stared in awe at the vista before them, a bustling galactic hub teeming with ships and structures of countless alien designs. "By all that's holy," Kraz whispered, his alien features contorted in what Harper had come to recognize as wonder. "The Nexus led us to Convergence Point. It's real." Harper turned to his Zephyrian ally. "You know this place?" Kraz nodded slowly. "It's a legend among my people, a neutral ground where species from across the galaxy gather to trade, negotiate, and share knowledge. I never believed it actually existed." As the Earthborn approached the massive space station at the center of the hub, a transmission crackled through their comms. "Unidentified vessel, You have entered Convergence Point space. Please identify yourselves and state your intentions. Harper stepped forward, his voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. This is Commander Jack Harper of the Earthship Earthborn. We come seeking knowledge, alliance, and peaceful exchange with the galactic community. There was a pause, then the voice returned, tinged with surprise. Earth, we have no record of your species in our databases, and yet, you've traversed the Nexus. Intriguing. You are granted permission to dock. Prepare for boarding and quarantine procedures. As the Earthborn was guided to a docking bay, Harper addressed his crew. This is it, people. First contact with a galactic civilization. Remember your training, stay alert, and above all, represent humanity with dignity and respect. The docking procedure was smooth, a testament to the advanced technology at work. As the airlock cycled, Harper stood at the forefront, with Dr. Lai and Kraz flanking him. The door hissed open, revealing a delegation of beings so diverse it momentarily took Harper's breath away. The lead figure stepped forward, a tall, willowy being with iridescent skin and eyes that seemed to contain entire galaxies. I am Zara, Chief Diplomat of Convergence Point. Welcome, travelers from Earth. Your arrival is unexpected, but not unwelcome. Harper bowed slightly. Thank you for your hospitality, Chief Diplomat Zara. We're honored to be here. As they were led through the station, Harper and his crew marveled at the sheer diversity of life forms and technologies surrounding them. Species of all shapes, sizes, and compositions mingled in what appeared to be a harmonious coexistence. They were brought to a grand chamber, where representatives from various species had gathered. Zara addressed the assembly. Esteemed colleagues, we have a unique situation. These humans have traversed the Nexus, bearing with them a former enemy turned ally. She gestured to Kraz. Their story is one I believe we should hear. Over the next few hours, Harper recounted Earth's recent history, the Zephyrian invasion, the weaponization of their atmosphere, and their subsequent cooperation and journey through the Nexus. The assembled aliens listened with rapt attention, their reactions ranging from awe to skepticism to keen interest. When Harper finished, a ripple of murmurs swept through the chamber. Zara raised a hand for silence. You've presented us with much to consider, Commander Harper. Your species' ability to turn a weakness into strength, and then to forge an alliance with your former invaders, is remarkable. However, it also raises concerns. A bulbous, multi-eyed being floated forward. If they could advance so quickly, weaponizing their very atmosphere, who's to say they won't become a threat to galactic peace? Harper felt the weight of countless alien gazes upon him. This was the moment that would define humanity's place in the galactic community. He took a deep breath, centering himself. Distinguished representatives, he began, his voice clear and resolute. I understand your concerns. Humanity has shown that we can be formidable when threatened, but we've also shown our capacity for cooperation, adaptation, and peace. He gestured to Kraz. Our alliance with the Zephyrians proves that we can overcome past conflicts and work towards mutual benefit. We didn't come here to conquer or to threaten. We came to learn, to share, and to find our place among the stars. Dr. Lai stepped forward, adding her perspective. Moreover, our journey through the Nexus taught us a valuable lesson. The challenges we face in this vast galaxy are too great for any one species to overcome alone. It's only through cooperation and understanding that we can hope to thrive. The chamber fell silent as the aliens considered their words. Finally, Zara spoke. You present a compelling case, humans. While some concerns remain, your potential as allies cannot be ignored. I propose we grant Earth provisional membership in the Galactic Concord, with a probationary period to prove your commitment to peace and cooperation. A vote was called, and Harper held his breath as the various representatives cast their decisions. In the end, the result was clear. Earth would be given a chance to join the galactic community. As the session concluded and congratulations were offered, Harper felt a mix of elation and trepidation. They had overcome their first major hurdle, but he knew the real challenges were just beginning. Zara approached him, her galaxy eyes twinkling. "Commander Harper, your journey has only just begun. There is much for your species to learn, and much you can teach us in return. Are you prepared for the responsibilities that come with joining the galactic stage?" Harper looked at his crew, human and Zephyrian alike, then back to Zara. With a determined smile, he nodded. "We're ready. Whatever challenges lie ahead, whatever wonders or dangers we may face, know this: humanity will face them with courage, curiosity, and an unwavering commitment to finding our place among the stars." As they were led deeper into Convergence Point to begin their integration into galactic society, Harper couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. They had come so far, from defending their own atmosphere to standing on the threshold of a new era for humanity. The breathless conquest had been just the beginning. Now, with the entire galaxy open before them, humanity's greatest adventure was truly about to unfold. Commander Jack Harper stood at the viewport of Convergence Point's medical bay, his reflection grim in the reinforced glass. Beyond, the vastness of space twinkled with the lights of countless ships, but Harper's mind was focused on the crisis unfolding within the station. Another outbreak reported in Sector 7. Dr. Lai's voice came from behind him, tight with worry. "The E3 delegation has been hit hard. Their gaseous physiology makes them especially vulnerable." Harper turned, taking in the scene of the overcrowded medical bay. Beings of various species lay on beds or floated in specialized containment fields, all struggling to breathe. The mysterious respiratory plague had struck with frightening speed and ferocity. "Any progress on identifying the pathogen?" Harper asked, already dreading the answer. Dr. Lai shook her head. "Nothing conclusive. But, Commander, there's talk. Some of the Concord representatives are suggesting that humans might be responsible." Harper's jaw clenched. He'd feared this might happen. Earth's recent history of atmospheric manipulation, combined with their newcomer status in the galactic community, made them an easy target for suspicion. "On what grounds?" he demanded. "They're citing our expertise in atmospheric weapons," Lai explained. "The fact that the plague seems to specifically target respiratory systems. Some see it as too convenient to be coincidental." Before Harper could respond, a commotion near the entrance caught their attention. A group of crystallites, their silicon-based bodies gleaming under the medical bay's lights, were arguing with the staff. "We demand to speak with the human commander." The lead crystallite's voice resonated through its crystalline form. Harper approached, hands raised in a gesture of peace. "I'm Commander Harper. What seems to be the problem?" The crystallite's faceted eyes fixed on him. "Your kind brings nothing but trouble to our galaxy. First, you weaponize your own atmosphere, and now this plague? The Crystallite Consortium demands your immediate quarantine and investigation." Harper felt the weight of countless alien gazes upon him. This was a crucial moment, one that could determine humanity's future in the galactic community. He took a deep breath, centering himself. "I understand your concerns," he began, his voice calm but firm. "But I assure you, Earth and its people have no connection to this plague. In fact, we're just as committed to finding a cure as anyone. Our expertise in atmospheric science could be key to unraveling this mystery." The crystallite seemed unconvinced, its crystalline structure vibrating with agitation. "Pretty words, human. But actions speak louder. If you're truly innocent, submit yourself and your crew to a full biological scan and investigation." Harper hesitated for a split second. Such a scan would be invasive, potentially revealing classified information about human biology. But the alternative, losing the trust of the galactic community, was unthinkable. "Agreed," Harper nodded. "We'll cooperate fully. But in return, I want full access to all data related to the plague outbreaks. If we're going to solve this, we need to work together." As the crystallites conferred among themselves, Harper caught sight of Kraz entering the medical bay. The Zephyrian's expression was grave. "Harper," Kraz wheezed, his breath labored even in his suit. "We have a problem. The Voidborn delegation, they're gone. Vanished without a trace." A chill ran down Harper's spine. The Voidborn, beings of pure energy, had been key members of the Galactic Concord. Their disappearance, combined with the plague outbreak, couldn't be a coincidence. As Harper's mind raced with the implications, alarms began to blare throughout Convergence Point. A voice boomed over the intercom. "Alert! Unknown vessels approaching. All personnel to battle stations. This is not a drill." Harper locked eyes with Dr. Lion Kraz. Whatever was coming, they were at the heart of a storm that threatened to engulf the entire galaxy. The real test of humanity's place among the stars was about to begin. The command center of Convergence Point was a maelstrom of activity as Harper strode in, Dr. Lion Kraz close behind. Holographic displays flickered with real-time data, showing a swarm of unidentified vessels rapidly approaching the station. "Status report," Harper barked, falling easily into command mode despite the alien surroundings. Zara, the chief diplomat, turned to face him, her iridescent skin pulsing with what Harper had learned to recognize as stress. 37 ships of unknown configuration. They're not responding to hails and have ignored our warnings. Weapons signatures detected. Harper's mind raced. An invasion force, or something else? What about our defenses? Convergence Point has significant defensive capabilities, Zara explained, but we've never had to use them. This station is meant to be a place of peace. Well, it looks like peace is off the table, Harper muttered. He turned to Kraz. Those ships. Any chance there's a Firian? Kraz shook his head. Negative. The energy signatures are unlike anything in our database. A new voice cut through the chaos. Perhaps I can be of assistance. Harper turned to see one of the crystallites approaching, its crystalline body refracting the light from the holographic displays. I am Zenith, lead scientist of the Crystallite Consortium, it introduced itself. Our sensors are more attuned to energy patterns. These ships, they bear similarities to Voidborn technology. Harper's eyes narrowed. The same Voidborn who conveniently vanished just before this crisis. Zenith's faceted eyes glimmered. Precisely. We Crystallites have long been suspicious of the Voidborn. Their energy-based nature makes them unpredictable. Before Harper could respond, the main view screen crackled to life. A being of pure energy, its form constantly shifting and pulsing, appeared before them. Greetings, denizens of Convergence Point, the being's voice resonated directly in their minds. I am Null, speaker for the Voidborn Collective. We have come to save you from the plague that threatens to consume your physical forms. Harper stepped forward, his voice steady. This is Commander Harper of Earth. We appreciate your concern, but attacking a neutral station is hardly a peaceful gesture. Stand down your weapons and let's discuss this. Null's form flickered, a gesture Harper interpreted as amusement. Ah, the humans. So new to the galactic stage, yet already at the center of a crisis. How convenient. What are you implying? Harper demanded, though a sinking feeling in his gut told him he already knew. Only that perhaps the solution to this plague lies closer to its source than you realize, Null replied cryptically. But fear not. The Voidborn have the answer. Surrender Convergence Point to our control, and we will cure all afflicted species. Zara stepped forward, her voice firm despite the tension. And if we refuse? Null's form expanded, filling the view screen. Then we will have no choice but to take control by force, for the greater good of the galaxy, of course. As the transmission cut off, alarms blared throughout the station. Multiple breaches detected, a technician called out. They're sending boarding parties. Harper's mind raced. They were outgunned and facing an enemy they barely understood. But he'd be damned if he'd let Convergence Point fall without a fight. Zara, initiate emergency protocols. Seal off critical sections of the station, Harper ordered. Kraz, I need you to coordinate our defense teams. Use your experience with low-atmosphere combat. He turned to Dr. Lai. Doctor, get back to the medical bay. If the Voidborn really do have a cure, we need to be ready to analyze and replicate it. And if they don't, we'll need to find one ourselves, Lai finished, determination in her eyes. As the team dispersed to their tasks, Harper felt a hand on his shoulder. It was Zenith, the crystallite scientist. "Commander," Zenith's voice resonated through its crystalline form. "I believe I know why the Voidborn chose to strike now. Follow me to my lab. There's something you need to see." Harper hesitated, torn between the need to coordinate the station's defense and the potential for crucial information. But his instincts told him that understanding the Voidborn's motives could be key to saving Convergence Point. "Lead the way," Harper nodded. As they raced through the corridors of Convergence Point, alarms blaring and panicked beings of all species rushing past, Harper couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the precipice of uncovering something far larger than a simple invasion. The plague, the Voidborn's sudden aggression, Earth's place in the galactic community, it was all connected, and he was determined to unravel the mystery before it was too late. Little did Harper know, the revelations waiting in Zenith's lab would shake the very foundations of his understanding of the universe and humanity's place within it. Zenith's lab was a marvel of alien technology, crystals of various sizes and colors pulsing with energy and data. Harper marveled at the intricate patterns swirling within each structure, realizing they were likely the crystallite equivalent of computer screens. "Commander, observe," Zenith gestured towards a central crystal, its surface shimmering with complex equations and molecular structures. "We've been analyzing the plague at a quantum level. What we've discovered is unprecedented." Harper leaned in, trying to make sense of the alien data. "What am I looking at?" Zenith's crystalline form vibrated with excitement. "The plague isn't a naturally occurring pathogen. It's engineered, Commander. But not just on a biological level. It's manipulating the very fabric of space-time on a microscopic scale." Harper's mind reeled at the implications. "Are you saying this plague is, what, altering reality?" "In a sense, yes," Zenith confirmed. "It's changing the fundamental properties of matter within the respiratory systems of affected species. That's why it's been so difficult to treat. Traditional medicine can't touch it." A cold realization dawned on Harper. And that's why the Voidborn are involved. As energy beings, they'd be uniquely suited to manipulate something like this. Zenith's faceted eyes gleamed. "Precisely. But there's more. Look at this molecular structure here." The crystal zoomed in on a particular section of the plague's makeup. Harper squinted, then felt his breath catch. That can't be right." "I'm afraid it is," Zenith's voice was grim. "Part of the plague's structure bears a striking resemblance to human DNA." Harper's mind raced. No wonder suspicion had fallen so quickly on humanity. But how? They'd only been part of the galactic community for a short time. Unless... "The Zephyrian invasion," Harper muttered. "When we weaponized our atmosphere, could samples of human DNA have been collected then?" Before Zenith could respond, the lab shook violently. The sound of distant explosions echoed through the station. Harper's calm crackled to life. Kraz's voice came through, strained and breathless. "Harper, the Voidborn have breached the main atrium. They're not just boarding. They're transforming the environment. The air itself is changing." "Hold them off as long as you can," Harper ordered. "We've made a breakthrough here. I'm on my way." He turned to Zenith. "Can you use this information to start working on a cure?" The crystallite's form shimmered with determination. "We'll do our best, Commander, but without understanding the Voidborn's energy manipulation techniques, we're missing a crucial piece of the puzzle." Harper nodded grimly. "Then I'll just have to get that information for you. Keep working. You're our best hope." As he raced out of the lab and towards the sounds of battle, Harper's mind whirled with the implications of what he'd learned. The plague, human DNA, the Voidborn's sudden aggression, it all pointed to a conspiracy far larger and more complex than he'd imagined. He rounded a corner and skidded to a halt. The corridor ahead was wrong. The air shimmered and twisted, reality itself seeming to warp and bend. And floating through this distorted space were the Voidborn, their energy forms pulsing with an otherworldly light. Harper raised his weapon, a modified energy pistol designed to work against various alien physiologies. But even as he took aim, he knew conventional weapons might be useless against beings that could manipulate the very fabric of reality. One of the Voidborn turned towards him, its form coalescing into a vaguely humanoid shape. Ah, the human commander, it spoke directly into Harper's mind. How fortunate. We have much to discuss about your species' role in the coming transformation. Harper stood his ground, mind racing for a strategy. He needed information, needed to understand what was really going on. And to do that, he'd have to step into the twisted reality the Voidborn had created. Taking a deep breath, Harper steeled himself and stepped forward, into a world where the very air around him could no longer be trusted. As the distorted environment enveloped him, he felt a strange sensation, as if his very atoms were being pulled apart and reassembled. The fate of Convergence Point, Earth's standing in the galactic community, and perhaps the future of the entire galaxy, now hinged on Harper's ability to navigate this alien realm and uncover the truth behind the Voidborn's plans. As reality twisted around him, Harper couldn't shake the feeling that he was walking into something far beyond his understanding. A cosmic game where humanity was both pawn and potential key player. The world around Harper shimmered and warped, colors bleeding into one another as reality itself seemed to flex and bend. Each step felt like wading through thick syrup, the very air resisting his movement. The Voidborn surrounded him, their energy forms pulsing with an otherworldly rhythm. "Welcome, Commander Harper," the lead Voidborn's voice resonated in his mind. "To the realm between realms. Here, the boundaries between matter and energy blur." Harper fought to keep his composure, every instinct screaming that this was wrong. "What do you want with Convergence Point? Why engineer a plague using human DNA?" The Voidborn's form rippled, a gesture Harper interpreted as amusement. "Direct, aren't you? Very well. The plague, as you call it, is not a weapon. It's the first step in evolution." "Evolution?" Harper's mind raced, trying to process the implications. "Your species stumbled upon something remarkable when you weaponized your atmosphere," another Voidborn chimed in. "The ability to alter the very medium of life. We merely expanded upon that concept." Harper's eyes narrowed. "The plague isn't killing its victims, it's changing them." "Precisely," the lead Voidborn confirmed. "Preparing them for ascension. For too long, the physical races have been bound by their corporeal forms. We offer liberation." A chill ran down Harper's spine as he realized the full scope of their plan. "You're trying to turn everyone into energy beings, like you. It is the next step in galactic evolution," the Voidborn insisted. "No more war over resources. No more death from physical ailments. A unified galaxy of pure energy and thought." Harper's mind whirled. The offer was tempting in its own way, an end to many of the problems that plagued physical beings. But the cost? "And those who don't want to change?" he challenged. The Voidborn's form darkened. "Progress always has its resistors. They will see the benefits in time, or they will be left behind." Harper's fist clenched. This wasn't evolution. It was forced assimilation, the eradication of diversity that made the galaxy so wondrous. "You're wrong," Harper stated firmly. "Our physical forms, our differences, they're not limitations. They're what make us who we are. You can't just erase that in the name of progress." The lead Voidborn's form expanded, looming over Harper. "You speak from ignorance, human. Allow us to show you the truth." Suddenly, Harper felt a searing pain in his mind. Images and sensations flooded his consciousness, the vastness of space seen without the limitation of eyes, the ability to traverse galaxies in an instant, the pure ecstasy of existing as thought and energy. He fell to his knees, overwhelmed by the onslaught. For a moment, he felt himself slipping, the allure of that limitless existence tugging at his very soul. But then, other memories surfaced. The feeling of a cool breeze on his skin, the taste of his mother's home-cooked meals, the warmth of a loved one's embrace, all the small, physical sensations that made life rich and meaningful. With a Herculean effort, Harper pushed back against the Voidborn's influence. "No," he gasped. "Our physicality isn't a weakness, it's a strength. It's what grounds us, what gives us perspective." He struggled to his feet, facing the Voidborn with renewed determination. "You think you're offering evolution, but you're really taking away what makes life worth living. The struggles, the sensations, the connections, they're not limitations. They're what give our existence meaning." The Voidborn recoiled, clearly taken aback by Harper's resistance. You shouldn't be able to resist. The ascension process has begun in you." Harper felt it, then a tingling throughout his body, his very atoms seeming to vibrate with new energy. But instead of succumbing to it, he embraced it, using the new sensitivity to feel the world around him more acutely. "You underestimated humanity," Harper declared. "We don't just adapt to our environment, we shape it, and we do it without losing what makes us human." As if in response to his words, the twisted reality around them flickered. Harper realized with a start that he was affecting the Voidborn's control over the environment. "This ends now," Harper stated, his voice ringing with authority. "You'll cure those you've infected, and you'll leave Convergence Point. The galaxy isn't ready for your kind of evolution, and I don't think it ever will be." The Voidborn's forms wavered, uncertainty rippling through their ranks. Harper had done the impossible. He'd resisted their influence and challenged their fundamental beliefs. As the twisted reality began to crumble around them, Harper knew this was just the beginning. He'd glimpsed the true scope of the cosmos and humanity's potential role in it. The challenge now would be to guide his species forward without losing touch with what made them human. The battle for Convergence Point was nearing its end, but the real test proving humanity's worth and wisdom to the galactic community was just beginning. The twisted reality surrounding Harper and the Voidborn began to fracture, shards of normal space breaking through like cracks in a cosmic eggshell. Harper felt the strange energy coursing through him, a mix of the Voidborn's attempted ascension and his own innate human resilience. "Impossible," the lead Voidborn's voice echoed, its form flickering erratically. "No physical being has ever resisted the ascension process." Harper stood his ground, feeling stronger with each passing moment. "Then maybe it's time you reconsidered your assumptions about physical beings." As the distorted space continued to collapse around them, alarms blared throughout Convergence Point. Harper's comm crackled to life, Kraz's voice coming through urgently. "Harper, whatever you're doing, keep it up. The Voidborn's hold on the station is weakening, but we've got a new problem. The plague is accelerating in the infected areas. We're running out of time." Harper's mind raced. He turned to the lead Voidborn, his voice firm. "You heard him. Your evolution is killing people. End this now, or I'll find a way to end it for you." The Voidborn's form pulsed with what might have been uncertainty. "You don't understand the forces you're dealing with, human. The process cannot simply be stopped." "Then help us reverse it," Harper demanded. "You started this. You can help us finish it." For a moment, the Voidborn seemed to confer among themselves, their energy forms intertwining in a dance of light and thought. Finally, the leader turned back to Harper. "Very well," it conceded. "We will assist in creating a cure. But know this, Commander Harper, the offer of ascension will always remain. One day, your kind may seek us out willingly." Harper nodded grimly. "Maybe? But that'll be our choice to make, not yours to force upon us." As the last vestiges of the twisted reality faded, Harper found himself back in the corridor of Convergence Point, surrounded by bewildered security teams and the now docile forms of the Voidborn. "Secure them," Harper ordered, "but don't harm them. We need their cooperation." He tapped his comm. "Kraz, gather Dr. Lion Zenith. Meet me in the main medical bay. We've got work to do." The next few hours were a blur of frantic activity. Harper watched in amazement as the Voidborn, working alongside Dr. Lai, Zenith, and a team of the galaxy's brightest minds, manipulated energy and matter on a scale he could barely comprehend. "It's remarkable," Dr. Lai marveled, analyzing the data streaming across her pad. "They're not just curing the plague, they're reversing the quantum-level changes it caused." Zenith's crystalline form shimmered with excitement. "The implications for medical science are staggering, if we can harness even a fraction of this technology." Harper nodded, his mind already racing with the possibilities and the potential dangers. "One step at a time. Let's focus on saving lives first." As the cure was synthesized and distributed throughout Convergence Point, Harper felt a weight lift from his shoulders. The immediate crisis was passing, but he knew the real challenges were just beginning. Zara approached him, her iridescent skin pulsing with a mix of relief and concern. "Commander Harper, the Galactic Concorde is convening an emergency session. They want a full report on, well, everything." Harper sighed. "I figured as much. Any idea what we're walking into?" Zara's expression was grave. "The revelation of the Voidborn's true nature and intentions has shaken the Concorde to its core, and humanity's role in all this, it's complicated matters." "How so?" Harper asked, though he had a sinking feeling he already knew. "Some see your resistance to the Voidborn's influence as proof of humanity's potential," Zara explained. "Others view your connection to the plague's origins as a threat. The Concorde is divided on whether to embrace humanity as full members, or to quarantine Earth entirely." Harper's jaw clenched. After everything they'd been through, the thought of Earth being isolated from the galactic community was unbearable. But he also understood the fear driving that impulse. "Then we'll just have to show them that humanity is worth the risk," Harper declared. "We've faced our trial by fire. Now it's time to prove we've learned from it." As they made their way to the Concorde's chamber, Harper's mind whirled with all they'd discovered. The power to manipulate the very fabric of reality, the potential for evolution beyond physical form, the vast and terrifying wonders that awaited them in the cosmos. But he also thought of the simple pleasures of human existence, the feel of soil beneath his feet, the taste of a home-cooked meal, the warmth of a loved one's embrace. These were the things worth fighting for, the experiences that gave meaning to their journey among the stars. Whatever judgment the Galactic Concorde passed, Harper knew one thing for certain: humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning. And he was determined to ensure they faced it with open minds, brave hearts, and an unwavering commitment to the very things that made them human. The chambers of the Galactic Concorde were a sight to behold, a vast amphitheater filled with representatives from hundreds of species. Harper stood at the center, feeling the weight of countless alien gazes upon him. The air was thick with tension, whispers and murmurs rippling through the assembled delegates. Zara stepped forward, her voice carrying across the chamber. "Esteemed members of the Concorde, we have convened this emergency session to address the recent crisis at Convergence Point and to determine the status of humanity within our galactic community." She gestured to Harper. "Commander Jack Harper of Earth will now present his report on the events that transpired." Taking a deep breath, Harper began his account. He spoke of the plague's true nature, the Voidborn's attempted forced evolution, and humanity's unexpected resistance to the process. He detailed the collaboration that led to the cure and the potential advancements in medical science that could result from it. As he concluded, the chamber erupted into a cacophony of alien voices. Some called for immediately granting humanity full membership in the Concorde, praising their adaptability and resilience. Others demanded quarantine, fearing the potential dangers of a species so intimately connected to reality-altering phenomena. A tall, avian being rose, its feathers shimmering with bioluminescence. "While we cannot deny the humans' role in resolving this crisis, we must also acknowledge their connection to its origins. The weaponization of their atmosphere, which led to this calamity, cannot be overlooked." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. Harper felt his heart sink, but before he could respond, an unexpected voice spoke up. "If I may address the Concorde," Kraz stepped forward. his Zephyrian frame standing tall despite the lingering effects of Earth's atmosphere. The avian being nodded, curiosity evident in its gleaming eyes. "Speak, Zephyrian. Your people's history with the humans gives you a unique perspective." Kraz's voice carried clearly across the chamber. "Esteemed members of the Concord, it is true that humanity's defensive measures led to the creation of a weapon. But consider this. When faced with an invading force that sought to terraform their world, humans found a way to turn their very environment into a shield." He paused, letting his words sink in. "In the short time since, they have not only adapted to galactic society, but have shown a remarkable ability to bridge divides. Where my people sought conquest, humans offered cooperation. They turned enemies into allies and found solutions where others saw only conflict." The chamber had fallen silent, all attention focused on Kraz. "Yes, humanity's potential for both creation and destruction is great. But is that not true of all sentient species? What sets them apart is their capacity for growth, for learning from their mistakes and striving to be better." Harper felt a surge of gratitude towards his former enemy-turned-ally. Kraz's words seemed to be swaying some of the undecided delegates. The avian being spoke again, its tone thoughtful. "Your words carry weight, Zephyrian. But the question remains, can we trust humans with the knowledge and power they now possess? The ability to manipulate reality itself is no small thing." This time, it was Zenith who stepped forward, its crystalline form glittering under the chamber's lights. "If I may, honored Concord, as a crystallite, my people have long been observers of galactic affairs. We have seen empires rise and fall, watched as species grappled with powers beyond their understanding." Zenith's faceted eyes swept across the assembly. "In Commander Harper and his crew, we have witnessed something rare, a species that faces the unknown not with fear or a desire to conquer, but with curiosity and a willingness to learn. They have shown wisdom in victory and humility in the face of cosmic wonders." The crystallite's voice resonated with conviction. "I believe that humanity's inclusion in the Concord would not be a liability, but an asset. Their unique perspective and adaptability could be the key to navigating the challenges that lie ahead for our galactic community." As Zenith finished, a low hum of discussion filled the chamber. Harper could sense the tide of opinion shifting, but the final decision still hung in the balance. Zara stepped forward once more, her expression solemn. "We have heard compelling arguments from all sides. Now, we must decide. The future of humanity's place in the galactic community hangs in the balance. Let us vote with wisdom and foresight, remembering that our strength lies in our diversity and our ability to grow together." As the voting process began, Harper stood tall, ready to accept whatever decision the Concord reached. He knew that regardless of the outcome, humanity had taken its first true steps onto the cosmic stage. The challenges ahead were immense, but so too were the possibilities. The fate of Earth and its people now rested in the hands of the assembled alien delegates. As the votes were cast, Harper couldn't help but feel that this was more than just a decision about humanity's status. It was a defining moment for the entire galaxy, a choice between fear and hope, isolation and unity. Whatever the result, Harper was determined to ensure that humanity continued to strive, to learn, and to reach for the stars, embracing the wonders and challenges of their new place in the cosmic order. The chamber fell into a tense silence as the votes were tallied. Harper stood motionless, acutely aware of the weight of this moment. The future of Earth, of humanity's place among the stars, hung in the balance. Finally, Zara stepped forward, her iridescent skin pulsing with what Harper had come to recognize as a mix of excitement and apprehension. She cleared her throat, the sound echoing through the hushed chamber. "The Galactic Concord has reached a decision," she announced, her voice carrying to every corner of the vast amphitheater. "By a margin of 3 votes, humanity is granted provisional membership in the Concord, with a probationary period of 1 galactic standard year." A collective exhale seemed to ripple through the assembly. Harper felt a wave of relief wash over him, tempered by the realization of the immense responsibility that now rested on humanity's shoulders. Zara continued, "During this probationary period, Earth will be granted limited access to Concord technology and knowledge bases. In return, humanity will share its unique insights and abilities, particularly in the fields of atmospheric manipulation and adaptive biology." She turned to face Harper directly. "Commander Harper, as the representative of Earth in this matter, do you accept these terms?" Harper stepped forward, his voice clear and resolute. "On behalf of Earth and humanity, I accept. We are honored by the Concord's decision and pledge to prove ourselves worthy of the trust you've placed in us." As the formalities concluded and the chamber began to empty, Harper found himself surrounded by a mix of curious and cautious alien delegates. Some offered congratulations, while others regarded him with wary respect. Kraz approached, a rare smile on his Zephyrian features. "Well done, Harper. You've secured humanity a seat at the galactic table. Now comes the real challenge." Harper nodded, the weight of responsibility settling on his shoulders. "Indeed, we have a year to prove ourselves, to show that we're more than just a potential threat or a scientific curiosity." Zenith joined them, its crystalline form shimmering with what Harper had learned to interpret as excitement. "This is an unprecedented opportunity, Commander. The data we've gathered from the plague incident alone could revolutionize our understanding of quantum biology." "Agreed," Harper said, his mind already racing with possibilities. "But we need to proceed carefully. The power to manipulate reality itself, it's not something to be taken lightly." As they discussed the path forward, Dr. Lai hurried over, her expression a mix of awe and concern. "Commander, you need to see this," she said, handing him a data pad. Harper's eyes widened as he scanned the information. "Is this confirmed?" Lai nodded grimly. "Triple-checked. The energy signatures we detected during your encounter with the Voidborn, they're still present in you." A hush fell over the small group. Kraz was the first to break the silence. "What does this mean, Harper? Are you changing?" Harper took a deep breath, centering himself. "I'm not sure. I feel different, more aware, but I'm still me." He looked at each of his companions in turn. "Whatever's happening, we'll face it together. This could be crucial to understanding the Voidborn and preventing future attempts at forced evolution." Zenith's faceted eyes gleamed with scientific curiosity. "Commander, with your permission, I'd like to assemble a research team. Your unique condition could be the key to unlocking new realms of scientific discovery." Harper nodded slowly. "Agreed, but let's keep this quiet for now. The last thing we need is for rumors to spread that Earth's representative is turning into some kind of energy being." As they began to plan their next steps, Zara approached, her expression serious. "Commander Harper, a word in private, if you please." Harper excused himself and followed Zara to a secluded alcove. The chief diplomat's voice was low and urgent. "Jack, there's something you need to know. The vote was closer than I let on. There's a faction within the Concord that sees humanity as a threat, one that needs to be contained rather than embraced." Harper's jaw clenched. "I suspected as much. What can we do?" Zara's eyes met his, filled with a mix of worry and determination. "Be cautious. Watch for signs of sabotage or attempts to undermine Earth's position. And above all, be the example that proves humanity's worth." As Harper rejoined his team, his mind whirled with the challenges ahead. They had a seat at the table, but the real work was just beginning. Proving humanity's value to the galactic community, unraveling the mysteries of his own changing biology, and navigating the treacherous waters of interstellar politics, all while safeguarding Earth's future. The stars had never seemed so bright, nor the path ahead so fraught with both peril and promise. But as Harper looked at the diverse group of allies around him, human and alien alike, he felt a surge of determination. Whatever the cosmos had in store, they would face it together, forging a future that honored the best of what it meant to be human, while embracing the infinite possibilities of life among the stars. The weeks following the Concorde's decision were a whirlwind of activity. Harper found himself at the center of a storm of diplomatic meetings, scientific briefings, and strategy sessions. Earth's provisional membership in the Galactic Concorde opened doors to knowledge and technology beyond humanity's wildest dreams. But it also brought scrutiny and expectations that weighed heavily on Harper's shoulders. In a secure laboratory aboard Convergence Point, Harper sat patiently as Dr. Lyon Zenith conducted yet another series of tests. The energy signatures from his encounter with the Voidborn had stabilized, but showed no signs of dissipating. Fascinating, Zenith's crystalline form shimmered with excitement. The quantum fluctuations in your cellular structure are unlike anything we've ever seen. It's as if you exist in a state of constant potential energy. Dr. Lai nodded, her eyes fixed on the readings. Your ability to perceive and interact with reality has been fundamentally altered, Commander. But the changes seem to have reached a plateau. You're stable, for lack of a better term. Harper flexed his hand, watching as faint traces of energy danced across his skin. And you're certain there's no risk of further evolution? As certain as we can be, given the unprecedented nature of your condition, Dr. Lai replied. But we'll continue monitoring you closely. As the scientists discussed the implications of their findings, Harper's mind wandered to the broader challenges facing humanity. The technology exchange program with the Concorde was proceeding smoothly, but Earth's representatives were walking a tightrope. Every shared innovation was scrutinized for potential military applications, every cultural exchange analyzed for signs of human aggression or expansionism. Kraz entered the lab, his Zephyrian frame adapting well to the station's atmosphere thanks to recent medical advancements. Harper, we've got a situation. The E3 delegation is demanding an audience with you. Something about disturbances in their home system's gas giants. Harper sighed, rising from the examination table. Never a dull moment. What kind of disturbances? Atmospheric anomalies, Kras explained as they walked briskly towards the diplomatic sector. Patterns that shouldn't naturally occur. They're worried it might be related to the plague incident. Harper's brow furrowed. The ethery, gaseous beings highly susceptible to atmospheric manipulation, had been among the hardest hit by the Voidborn's plague. Their support had been crucial in securing Earth's provisional membership. As they entered the meeting chamber, Harper was struck by the sight of the ethery representatives. Their swirling, nebulous forms seemed agitated, colors shifting rapidly in patterns that spoke of deep distress. Commander Harper, the lead ethery's voice resonated through the room, a symphony of harmonics that translated into words. We require your expertise. Our home worlds are in peril. Harper listened intently as the ethery described the situation. Strange vortexes forming in the atmospheres of their gas giant homes, disrupting weather patterns and threatening the delicate ecosystems that supported their civilization. We believe these disturbances may be an unforeseen consequence of the plague and its cure, the ethery explained. Your experience with atmospheric manipulation and the Voidborn technology makes you uniquely qualified to assist us. Harper's mind raced with the implications. This was both a crisis and an opportunity, a chance to prove humanity's value to the Concorde, while potentially uncovering more about the lingering effects of the Voidborn incident. We'll help in any way we can, Harper assured them. I'll assemble a team immediately. But I have to ask, have you informed the full Concorde about this? The ethery's form rippled in what Harper had learned to interpret as hesitation. We thought it best to approach you directly first. There are factions within the Concorde who might see this as an opportunity to restrict Earth's involvement rather than embrace it. Harper nodded grimly, understanding the delicate political balance at play. I appreciate your trust. We'll handle this discreetly, but we can't keep the Concorde in the dark entirely. I'll speak with Zara, see if we can frame this as a joint scientific expedition. As the meeting concluded and plans were set in motion, Harper couldn't shake a feeling of unease. The disturbances in the ethery home system, the lingering effects of his encounter with the Voidborn, the political maneuvering within the Concorde, it all felt connected somehow. pieces of a larger puzzle they were only beginning to understand. Kraz, Harper turned to his Zephyrian ally as they left the chamber. I need you to dig deeper into the Concord's archives. Look for any historical precedents of large-scale atmospheric anomalies, especially anything that might be linked to energy-based life forms. Kraz nodded, understanding the gravity of the request. I'm on it. And Harper, be careful. I can't shake the feeling that we're stepping into something bigger than we realize. As they parted ways, Harper's hand unconsciously flexed, faint traces of energy once again dancing across his skin. Whatever was happening in the ethery system, whatever forces were at play in the wider galaxy, he was determined to face them head-on. The future of Earth's place among the stars might very well depend on what they discovered next. With a deep breath, Harper set off to assemble his team. The next chapter of humanity's cosmic adventure was about to unfold, and he intended to ensure they were ready for whatever wonders or perils awaited them in the swirling atmospheres of the ethery worlds. The ethery home system loomed before them, a spectacular array of gas giants swirling with colors that defied Earth-based classification. Harper stood on the bridge of the Earthborn, now refitted with Concord-approved upgrades, as they approached the outermost planet. Atmospheric sensors at maximum sensitivity, Dr. Lai reported from her station. I'm detecting the anomalies the ethery described. They're unlike anything I've ever seen. Harper leaned in, studying the holographic display. Massive vortexes twisted through the planet's atmosphere, their patterns too regular, too precise to be natural phenomena. It's almost like they're trying to form some kind of structure, Zenith observed, its crystalline form reflecting the swirling colors of the gas giant. As they watched, one of the vortexes suddenly collapsed, sending shockwaves through the planet's atmosphere. Alarms blared on the bridge. Multiple ethery life signs detected in the affected area, Kraz called out. They're in distress. Harper's decision was immediate. Launch rescue shuttles. Dr. Lai, Zenith, you're with me. We need to get a closer look at these anomalies. As they boarded a shuttle equipped with advanced atmospheric shielding, Harper felt a familiar tingling sensation coursing through his body. The energy signatures from his void-born encounter seemed to be reacting to something in the ethery world. The shuttle plunged into the roiling atmosphere, buffeted by winds that should have torn it apart. Yet their shields held, a testament to the incredible technology they now had access to. As they descended deeper, Harper's perception began to shift. The swirling gases around them took on new dimensions, patterns emerging that were invisible to normal sight. There, he pointed, his voice tight with a mix of awe and apprehension. Can you see it? Dr. Lai and Zenith looked at him in confusion. See what, Commander? Lai asked. Harper struggled to put into words what he was experiencing. It's like a lattice, a structure of pure energy interwoven with the atmosphere itself. Zenith's crystalline form vibrated with excitement. Commander, your unique condition must be allowing you to perceive energy patterns beyond our normal spectrum. Can you guide us closer? With Harper's direction, they maneuvered the shuttle towards one of the massive vortexes. As they approached, even Lai and Zenith began to detect unusual readings. The energy signatures, Lai muttered, her eyes wide. They're similar to what we recorded during the Voidborn incident, but more refined, more structured. Suddenly, a group of ethery emerged from the swirling gases, their nebulous forms clearly agitated. One of them interfaced directly with their shuttle's communication systems. You must turn back. The ethery's harmonic voice resonated through the cabin. The breath of creation stirs. It is not safe for solid beings here. The breath of creation? Harper repeated, confused. What do you mean? But before the ethery could respond, a massive shockwave rocked the shuttle. The vortex before them was collapsing, but as it did, Harper saw something that made his blood run cold. For a brief moment, reality itself seemed to tear open, revealing a glimpse of something else, a realm of pure energy, of infinite possibility. It's a gateway, Harper breathed. the realization hitting him like a physical force. These aren't just atmospheric disturbances. They're trying to open portals to another dimension. As quickly as it had appeared, the rift sealed itself, but the implications of what they'd seen hung heavy in the air. "We need to report this to the Concorde immediately," Zenith insisted, its usual calm demeanor shaken. Harper nodded grimly. "Agreed. But something tells me this goes beyond just the ethery worlds. Kraz," he activated the comm link to the Earthborn, "I need you to cross-reference our findings with the historical data you've been researching. Look for any mentions of the breath of creation or similar phenomena." As they began their ascent back to the Earthborn, Harper's mind raced. The Voidborn's attempted evolution of physical beings, the energy signatures that now coursed through his own body, these rifts in the ethery atmosphere, it was all connected somehow. They were on the verge of uncovering something monumental, a secret that could reshape their understanding of the universe itself. But as Harper gazed out at the swirling chaos of the gas giant's atmosphere, he couldn't shake the feeling that they were also stepping into a danger beyond anything they'd faced before. Whatever this breath of creation was, whatever forces were at work in the cosmos, humanity was now irrevocably involved. Their journey among the stars had led them to the threshold of a mystery as vast as the universe itself. As the shuttle docked with the Earthborn, Harper steeled himself for the challenges ahead. They had a report to make to the Concorde, a mystery to unravel, and potentially a new threat to face. The next steps they took could determine not just humanity's place in the galaxy, but the fate of all physical life as they knew it. With a deep breath, Harper stepped onto the bridge, ready to lead his team into the unknown once more. The true nature of their galactic adventure was only just beginning to reveal itself. The Galactic Concorde Chamber was in an uproar. Representatives from dozens of species argued vehemently, their voices rising in a cacophony of alien languages. At the center of it all stood Harper, his face grim as he finished presenting their findings from the ethery system. "Order, we will have order," Zara's voice cut through the chaos, her iridescent skin pulsing with stress. As the chamber quieted, she turned to Harper. "Commander, your report is disturbing, to say the least. The implications of these rifts, this breath of creation, are staggering." The avian delegate, who had been skeptical of humanity's inclusion, rose, its feathers shimmering with agitation. "This is precisely why we should have restricted Earth's involvement. Their meddling has opened a door we may not be able to close." Murmurs of agreement rippled through parts of the assembly, but Kraz stepped forward, his voice steady. "With all due respect, honored delegates, humanity did not cause this crisis. They merely helped uncover it, and now they may be our best hope for understanding and addressing it." Harper nodded gratefully to his Zephyrian ally before addressing the chamber. "We didn't come here to point fingers or assign blame. We came seeking the Concorde's collective wisdom and resources. Whatever is happening in the ethery system, whatever these rifts represent, it's clear that it affects us all." He paused, letting his words sink in. "The energy signatures we've detected are similar to those left by the Voidborn, but they're more primal, somehow. I believe we're dealing with something far older and more fundamental to the structure of our universe." Zenith's crystalline form shimmered as it added its perspective. "The crystallites have legends of a time before the physical universe, when all was energy and potential. Could these rifts be echoes of that primordial state?" The chamber erupted into discussion once more, theories and counter-theories flying back and forth. Harper watched, feeling the weight of the moment. They stood on the precipice of a discovery that could reshape their understanding of reality itself. Suddenly, a sharp pain lanced through Harper's head. The energy within him surged, and for a moment, his perception shifted. The chamber fell away, and he saw something else. A vast, swirling cosmos of pure energy, pulsing with infinite possibility. As quickly as it came, the vision faded. Harper found himself on his knees, gasping for breath. Dr. Lai was at his side instantly, her face etched with concern. "Commander, what happened?" Harper struggled to his feet, aware that all eyes in the chamber were now fixed on him. I saw something. The realm beyond the rifts, it's calling to me." A hush fell over the assembly. Zara stepped forward, her voice low and urgent. "Commander Harper, your condition, your connection to these events, it may be the key to understanding what we're facing, but it also makes you a wild card, a potential threat." Harper met her gaze steadily. "I understand your concerns, but I also know that this ability, whatever it is, might be our best chance at navigating what's coming. I'm not losing myself, Zara. I'm expanding, and I think that's what's happening to our entire universe." The avian delegate's voice cut through the tension. "Pretty words, human. But how can we trust that you haven't been compromised? That you're not a conduit for whatever force is causing these rifts?" Before Harper could respond, alarms blared throughout the chamber. A technician's panicked voice came over the comm system. "Multiple rifts detected. They're opening all across known space." The main view screen flickered to life, showing a map of the galaxy. Points of light, representing the rifts, were blinking into existence at an alarming rate. Harper's mind raced. This was it, the moment everything had been leading to. He turned to address the Concorde, his voice ringing with determination. "Honored delegates, we don't have time for doubt or division. Whatever is coming, whatever these rifts represent, we need to face it united. Humanity stands ready to do its part. The question is, will you stand with us?" For a moment, the chamber was silent. Then, slowly, delegates began to nod. Voices rose in agreement, in pledges of support and cooperation. Zara stepped forward, her expression solemn. "The Concorde recognizes the gravity of this situation. Commander Harper, given your unique connection to these events, we task you with leading a joint expedition. Your mission will be to investigate these rifts, to understand the force behind them, and if necessary, to find a way to close them." Harper nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. "I accept, but I'll need a team, the best minds from across the Concorde, and full access to our combined resources and technology." As plans were quickly drawn up and teams assembled, Harper couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. They were about to embark on a journey into the unknown, to the very edge of reality itself. He looked around at his diverse team, human and alien alike, united in purpose. Whatever lay beyond those rifts, whatever cosmic forces they were about to confront, Harper knew one thing for certain: they would face it together, as representatives not just of their individual species, but of all physical life in the universe. As they prepared to depart, Harper gazed out at the stars, now punctuated by the eerie glow of rifts in space-time. The breathless conquest had led them here, to the threshold of a new era of discovery and danger. Now, it was time to take the next breath, to plunge into the depths of cosmic mystery and emerge with the knowledge that could save their universe or transform it forever. The greatest adventure in the history of all sentient life was about to begin, and humanity was at its heart. Harper smiled, ready to lead the charge into the unknown. The universe was waiting, and they had a date with destiny. The rift loomed before them, a shimmering tear in the fabric of space-time that pulsed with otherworldly energy. Commander Jack Harper stood at the helm of the Cosmic Voyager, a ship specially designed to traverse the boundary between realities. His hand flexed unconsciously, faint traces of energy dancing across his skin. "All systems go, Commander," Kraz reported from his station, the Zephyrian's voice tight with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "The quantum stabilizers are at full power. If we're going to do this, now's the time." Harper took a deep breath, centering himself. The energy within him surged in response to the rift's proximity, as if recognizing a kindred force. "Take us in, nice and easy." As the Cosmic Voyager edged towards the rift, Harper felt a familiar shift in his perception. The physical world began to blur, overlaid with patterns of pure energy that only he could see. It was beautiful, terrifying, and utterly alien. The ship shuddered as it breached the threshold. For a moment, reality itself seemed to flex and warp around them. Then, with a flash of blinding light, they were through. Harper blinked, his eyes struggling to adjust to the new environment. Gone were the familiar stars and planets of normal space. Instead, they found themselves surrounded by a vast, swirling cosmos of pure energy. Rivers of light flowed in impossible patterns, forming and dissolving in a cosmic dance of creation and destruction. "By all that's holy," Zenith breathed, the crystallites' form shimmering in resonance with the surrounding energies. "It's just as the ancient text described, the primordial sea of possibility." As the crew stared in awe at the spectacle before them, Harper felt a presence brush against his mind. A voice, or perhaps many voices speaking as one, resonated through his consciousness. "Welcome, children of matter," the voice intoned, its tone both ancient and impossibly vast. "We have awaited your arrival." Harper's eyes widened as he saw shapes coalescing in the energy around them. Beings of pure light, their forms constantly shifting and flowing, emerged from the cosmic tapestry. "I am Commander Jack Harper of the Galactic Concord," he announced, his voice steady despite the wonder and trepidation he felt. "We come seeking understanding and, if necessary, a way to seal the rifts that threaten our realm." The largest of the energy beings moved closer, its form rippling with what might have been curiosity. "Seal the rifts? Why would you seek to close the doors we have opened after so long?" Harper's brow furrowed. You created the rifts intentionally." "Of course," the being replied, its voice echoing through both mind and ship. "It is time for the great reunion, for matter and energy to become one once more. We are the primordials, the source from which all life sprang, and now we call our children home." As the implications of those words sank in, alarms began to blare throughout the ship. "Commander," Dr. Lai called out, her voice tight with urgency. "The ship's molecular structure is destabilizing. This realm, it's unraveling our very atoms." Harper's mind raced. They were in over their heads, facing beings of unimaginable power and age. But he hadn't come this far to back down now. "Great primordials," he addressed the energy beings, drawing on every ounce of diplomatic training he possessed. "We are honored by your welcome, but our forms are not suited to prolonged exposure to this realm. Perhaps there is a way we can communicate without risking our existence." The primordials conferred among themselves, their energy forms intertwining in a dance of light and thought. Finally, the leader turned back to Harper. "Very well, child of matter. We shall create a space where your forms can persist. But know this, the merge cannot be stopped. It is the natural order of things, the culmination of eons of separation. You have much to learn before you can understand the necessity of what is to come." As the energy around them began to shift and coalesce, forming a bubble of stability within the chaotic sea of power, Harper exchanged glances with his crew. They had come seeking answers, but instead found themselves at the heart of a cosmic event that threatened the very existence of their universe. The true nature of their mission was only now becoming clear, and Harper couldn't shake the feeling that the fate of all reality might rest on the choices they made in the coming hours. As the primordials prepared to reveal the secrets of creation itself, Harper steeled himself for the greatest challenge of his life, one that would test not just his evolving abilities, but the very essence of what it meant to be human in a universe on the brink of transformation. The bubble of stability solidified around them, a transparent membrane separating the cosmic voyager from the swirling chaos of the energy realm. Harper felt the oppressive pressure on his atoms ease, though the tingling sensation of power coursing through his body intensified. "Ship status," he called out, eyes still fixed on the primordials floating beyond their protective sphere. Kraz's fingers danced over his console. "Molecular cohesion stabilizing. Whatever they've done, it's allowing us to maintain our physical form. But Commander, our power systems are fluctuating wildly. This environment is unlike anything they were designed for." Harper nodded grimly. "Understood. Conserve all non-essential power. We need to make this quick." He turned his attention back to the primordials, their luminous forms pulsing with barely contained power. You spoke of a great reunion, of matter and energy becoming one. Can you explain what that means for our universe, for all the life that exists there? The lead primordial's form rippled, patterns of light shifting in what might have been a gesture of explanation. In the beginning, all was one. Energy, pure and limitless. But from that energy came the desire for form, for structure. Thus, matter was born. Images flashed through Harper's mind, visions of cosmic creation on a scale that defied comprehension. He saw galaxies birthed from swirling vortexes of light, planets coalescing from streams of energy given solid form. For eons, the primordial continued. Matter and energy existed in separate realms, two halves of a divided whole. But now, the cycle nears its completion. It is time for reunification, for the children of matter to shed their limited forms and rejoin the cosmic dance of pure being. Zenith's crystalline form shimmered with excitement. Fascinating. This aligns with some of our most ancient myths. But surely, such a merge would mean the end of all physical life as we know it. The primordial's response held a note of what might have been compassion, or perhaps just detached observation. End? No. Transformation. Evolution to a higher state of existence. Your consciousness will persist, freed from the constraints of physical form. Harper's mind raced, trying to grasp the full implications of what they were being told. But we haven't chosen this transformation. Billions of beings across our universe are happy with their physical existence. You're talking about fundamentally changing the nature of all life without consent. Choice is an illusion born of limited perspective, another primordial chimed in, its voice a symphony of harmonic frequencies. From our vantage point, all of time exists simultaneously. The merge is not just inevitable, it has, in a sense, already happened. As Harper struggled to formulate a response, a sudden surge of energy rocked the ship. Alarms blared as new rifts began to open within their protective bubble. "Commander," Dr. Lai called out, her voice tight with urgency. "Something's coming through." Harper spun to face the newly formed rifts, his hand instinctively reaching for a weapon that would be useless in this realm. What emerged, however, wasn't an enemy force, but a familiar face he'd never expected to see again. "Hello, Jack," Admiral Kraz materialized before them, his Zephyrian features twisted into a smirk. "Surprised to see me?" Harper's eyes widened in shock. "Admiral, but how? You're dead. We saw your ship destroyed in the battle against the Voidborn." The former Zephyrian leader chuckled, his form flickering with traces of energy that marked him as something more than purely physical. Death, like so much else, is negotiable in this realm. The Voidborn were mere children playing with forces they didn't understand. But I have ascended. As Kraz spoke, more figures emerged from the rifts. Humans, Zephyrians, and other species Harper recognized from the Galactic Concord. All bore the same ethereal quality as the Admiral, existing in a state between matter and energy. "What have you done, Kraz?" Harper demanded, a sinking feeling in his gut telling him that their mission had just become far more complicated. Kraz's eyes gleamed with a fervor that bordered on madness. "I've seen the truth, Jack. The primordials showed me the way. Physical existence is a cage, a limitation we no longer need to accept. And now, I'm here to ensure that all of creation embraces its true destiny." As Kraz's followers fanned out, their forms rippling with barely contained power, Harper realized they were facing a threat far greater than they'd anticipated. It wasn't just the primordials they needed to convince. They were now in a race against those who had already embraced the coming transformation and seemed determined to force it upon the rest of the universe. The fate of all physical life now hung in the balance, and Harper knew that the next moves they made would determine whether their universe embraced a new evolution or fought to maintain the essence of what made them who they were. The true battle for the soul of existence was about to begin. Harper's mind raced, assessing the new threat posed by Kraz and his followers. The former Admiral's transformation was a stark reminder of the power this realm held, and the dangers it presented. "Kraz," Harper began, his voice steady despite the tension thrumming through him, You can't make this decision for an entire universe. What you're proposing is nothing short of cosmic genocide. Kraz's form rippled with what might have been amusement. Genocide? No, Jack. Liberation. I've experienced what awaits us all. The freedom, the power, the sheer ecstasy of existence beyond physical form. Why cling to these limited shells when infinity beckons? As Kraz spoke, Harper felt a surge of energy within himself. The power that had been growing since his encounter with the Voidborn seemed to resonate with this place, expanding his awareness in ways he was only beginning to understand. Suddenly, he could see beyond the physical. Threads of possibility stretched out from every being present, a web of potential futures shimmering in his enhanced perception. And in that moment, Harper understood the true nature of their conflict. It's not about physical versus energy forms, he realized aloud. It's about choice, about preserving the diversity of existence itself. He turned to address the primordials, who had been observing the exchange with detached interest. You spoke of all time existing simultaneously from your perspective. Then surely you can see the value in maintaining multiple forms of existence. A universe of pure energy is just as limited as one of pure matter. The lead primordials form pulsed, considering Harper's words. You show wisdom beyond your years, child of matter. Perhaps there is more to your kind than we first perceived. Kraz, however, was not swayed. Enough philosophy, Jack. The time for debate is over. The merge is happening, with or without your approval. As if to emphasize his point, Kraz raised a hand, energy crackling around him. The protective bubbles surrounding the cosmic Voyager began to warp and distort. Commander, Zenith called out, its crystalline form vibrating with alarm. The ship's structural integrity is failing. If this continues, we'll be exposed to the raw energy of this realm. Harper knew they were out of time. He had to act, to somehow counter Kraz's power and protect his crew. Drawing on instincts he didn't fully understand, Harper reached out with his mind, tapping into the swirling energies around them. To his amazement, the chaos responded to his will. A shield of pure energy formed around the ship, stabilizing the failing bubble. Kraz's eyes widened in surprise. Impressive, Jack. It seems you've been holding out on us. But do you really think you can stand against those who have fully embraced this realm's power? As if to demonstrate, Kraz and his followers began to merge, their individual forms blending into a swirling vortex of energy that dwarfed the cosmic Voyager. Harper gritted his teeth, struggling to maintain the shield as Kraz's combined form battered against it. He could feel the raw power threatening to overwhelm him, to unravel his very being. Just when it seemed he would be overcome, Harper felt a presence brush against his mind. The primordials, their vast consciousness expanding to envelop him. You fight to preserve choice, their collective voice resonated in his thoughts. A noble goal, but one that requires understanding. Are you willing to risk everything, to open your mind fully to the truths of this realm? Harper hesitated for a split second. To open himself completely to this power could mean losing his humanity, becoming something beyond physical existence. But the alternative was to watch helplessly as Kraz and his followers forced their will upon an entire universe. I am, Harper declared, his voice ringing with determination. In that moment, the primordial's essence flooded into him. Harper's consciousness expanded, transcending the limitations of his physical form. He saw the universe, not just as it was, but as it could be, as it had been, as it would be across infinite timelines. And in that expanded state, Harper understood. The merge wasn't inevitable, nor was it necessary. It was simply one possibility among countless others. With this new understanding came power. Harper's energy form grew, matching, and then surpassing the combined might of Kraz and his followers. Enough, Harper's voice boomed, no longer just physical sound, but a resonance that shook the very fabric of this realm. This isn't your decision to make, Kraz. Not for me, not for humanity, not for any being in our universe. As Harper's power surged, he began to push back against Kraz's assault. But even as he did so, He knew that raw force alone wouldn't be enough. To truly resolve this conflict, he would need to find a way to bridge the gap between matter and energy, to show both sides the value in preserving the diversity of existence. The fate of two realms now rested on Harper's ability to navigate this new cosmic understanding, to find a solution that would satisfy both the physical and energy beings. As the battle raged around him, Harper focused his expanded consciousness on unraveling the ultimate puzzle of existence, knowing that the future of all life hung in the balance. As Harper's consciousness expanded, encompassing vast swaths of space and time, he became acutely aware of the delicate balance that underpinned existence itself. The conflict with Kraz was more than a mere battle. It was a fulcrum upon which the fate of countless realities teetered. With his newfound perception, Harper could see the intricate web of consequences spreading out from this moment. Timelines branched and merged, each decision spawning infinite possibilities. He realized that a solution through force, no matter how well-intentioned, would only perpetuate the cycle of conflict. Kraz, Harper's voice resonated across multiple dimensions. I see now what you've experienced, the allure of this limitless existence. But I also see what you've forgotten. The swirling vortex that was Kraz and his followers paused in its assault, curiosity momentarily overriding aggression. And what's that, Jack? What could possibly compare to this transcendent state? Instead of answering with words, Harper opened his mind, sharing his expanded vision with Kraz and all present. In an instant, they were transported across time and space, witnessing the rich tapestry of physical existence. They saw the birth of stars, the first stirrings of life on countless worlds. They experienced the joy of a child's laughter, the bittersweet pain of love and loss, the triumph of overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds. All the small, precious moments that gave meaning to mortal existence flowed through their shared consciousness. This, Harper explained, his voice tinged with emotion, this is what we risk losing. The beauty of limitation, the preciousness of fleeting moments. In our physical forms, we may not have the power of gods, but we have something just as valuable, the capacity for growth, for change, for experiencing the universe in all its infinite variety. Kraz's form wavered, conflict evident in the swirling patterns of his energy. But the power, the freedom from pain and fear, comes at the cost of truly living, Harper finished. We need both, Kraz. The physical and the energetic, matter and spirit, intertwined and balanced. As understanding dawned, the combined form of Kraz and his followers began to separate, individual consciousnesses reasserting themselves. The primordials, who had been observing silently, now moved closer. You have shown wisdom beyond your years, child of matter, their collective voice intoned. Perhaps we, too, have been limited in our perspective. Harper turned to address the ancient beings. The merge you speak of doesn't have to be an end or a beginning. It can be a bridge, a way for both realms to coexist and enrich each other. As he spoke, Harper's expanded consciousness grappled with concepts beyond normal human understanding. He saw a way to stabilize the rifts, to create controlled gateways between the physical and energy realms. We can establish points of contact, he explained, his excitement growing. Places where beings from both realms can interact, learn from each other, even temporarily experience the other state of existence. Not a forced merge, but a voluntary exchange. The primordials' forms pulsed with what might have been approval. An intriguing proposal. It would maintain the diversity of existence while allowing for growth and understanding on both sides. Kraz, now fully separated from his followers, approached Harper. His form was more defined now, a blend of his physical self and pure energy. I may have been too hasty, too drunk on the power of this realm. Your way offers a balance I hadn't considered. Harper nodded, feeling the tension of the moment begin to ease. But even as a sense of resolution settled over them, a new alarm blared from the cosmic Voyager. Commander, Zenith's voice cut through the cosmic dialogue, we're detecting massive energy fluctuations back in our home realm. The rifts, they're expanding exponentially. Harper's focus snapped back to the immediate crisis. Their philosophical breakthrough meant nothing if their physical universe was torn apart in the process. "We need to act now," he declared, turning to the primordials. "Will you help us stabilize the rifts, to implement this new balance between our realms?" The ancient beings conferred briefly before responding. "We will. But be warned, young one. The process will be dangerous, and the outcome not guaranteed. Are you prepared to risk everything for this vision of coexistence?" Harper looked at his crew, at Kraz, at the vast expanse of the energy realm surrounding them. In that moment, he knew there was only one choice he could make. "We are," he stated firmly. "Whatever it takes, we'll find a way to preserve both our realms and open the door to a new era of cosmic understanding." As the primordials began to channel their vast power, preparing to reshape the very fabric of reality, Harper steeled himself for the challenge ahead. They were about to attempt something never before conceived, let alone tried. The fate of two universes hung in the balance, and the real test of humanity's place in the cosmic order was about to begin. With a deep breath, Harper opened himself fully to the energies around him, ready to serve as a conduit between realms. The next few moments would determine the future of all existence, and he was determined to ensure that future was one of balance, growth, and infinite possibility. The fabric of reality itself seemed to tremble as Harper, the primordials, and the now allied Kraz focused their combined power on the task of stabilizing the rifts. Energy coursed through Harper's being, far beyond anything he had experienced before. He felt as if he were simultaneously everywhere and nowhere, his consciousness stretched across the cosmos. "Commander," Zenith's voice cut through the cosmic cacophony, anchoring Harper to his physical self, "the rifts in our home realm are reaching critical mass. Multiple systems are reporting gravitational anomalies and temporal distortions." Harper gritted his teeth, redoubling his efforts. "Understood. We need to work faster. Kraz, can you and your followers help channel the excess energy?" The former admiral, his form now a shimmering blend of matter and energy, nodded. "We'll do what we can, Jack. But this is uncharted territory for all of us." As they worked, Harper became aware of a growing resistance. It was as if the very universe itself was fighting against their efforts to bridge the gap between realms. "Something's wrong," he called out, his voice echoing across dimensions. "The more we try to stabilize the rifts, the more unstable they become." One of the primordials, its form pulsing with concern, responded. "The balance is more delicate than we anticipated. Our efforts to merge the realms are causing unforeseen reactions." Suddenly, a new presence made itself known. A voice, ancient and vast, resonated through the fabric of existence itself. "What you attempt threatens the very foundations of reality." Harper's expanded consciousness reeled at the power behind that voice. "Who? What are you?" "We are the cosmic architects," the voice replied, its tone carrying the weight of eons. "Guardians of the great divide between matter and energy. Your actions, while well-intentioned, risk unraveling the cosmic tapestry we have spent eternity weaving." The implications hit Harper like a physical blow. They hadn't just been dealing with the fate of their known universe, but with fundamental forces that underpinned all of existence. "Great architects," Harper addressed the unseen entities, his mind racing to find a solution. "We seek not to destroy, but to bridge, to create understanding between realms. Surely there must be a way to achieve this without risking everything." There was a pause, as if the cosmic architects were considering his words. "Then, perhaps, but it would require sacrifice, a willingness to embrace limitation for the greater good." Harper felt a chill run through him. He knew, somehow, that the sacrifice they spoke of would fall to him. His unique position as a bridge between realms made him the key to resolving this crisis. "What must I do?" he asked, his voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. The response came not in words, but in a flood of cosmic understanding. Harper saw what needed to be done, the role he would have to play. He would become a living anchor, a permanent bridge between matter and energy. It would mean giving up his purely physical existence, but also never fully ascending to an energy state. He would exist between realms, ensuring the balance and serving as a conduit for controlled, limited interaction. The weight of this destiny settled upon him. It meant leaving behind everything and everyone he knew, dedicating his existence to maintaining the cosmic balance. But it also meant saving both realms, preserving the diversity of existence itself. Harper turned to his crew, to Kraz, to the Primordials. "I know what needs to be done, but I can't make this decision alone. The consequences will affect all of us, all of existence." Kraz stepped forward, his form shimmering with newfound wisdom. "You've shown us the value of both realms, Jack. If this is what it takes to preserve that balance, you have my support." The Primordials' collective voice resonated with solemn agreement. "We, too, have learned much from this encounter. Your sacrifice would not be in vain." Finally, Harper looked to his crew. Words weren't necessary. The bond they shared spoke volumes. They understood the magnitude of what he was considering, and their support was evident in their unwavering gazes. Taking a deep breath, Harper turned back to address the unseen cosmic architects. "I'm ready. I accept this role, this destiny. For the sake of both realms, for the preservation of all we hold dear, I will become the bridge." As he spoke those words, Harper felt the very essence of his being begin to change. He was becoming something new, something that existed beyond the boundaries of normal space and time. The power of the cosmic architects flowed through him, reshaping him into a cosmic linchpin. The rifts began to stabilize, their wild energy channeled through Harper's transformed being. He could feel the balance reasserting itself, the delicate dance between matter and energy finding a new equilibrium. As the crisis subsided, Harper knew that his journey was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. He had become a guardian of cosmic balance, a bridge between worlds, and a symbol of the potential that lay in embracing both the physical and the energetic aspects of existence. The universe, or rather, the multiverse, stretched out before him, filled with infinite possibilities. And at the heart of it all stood humanity's legacy, a testament to the adaptability, courage, and wisdom that had allowed them to face the ultimate cosmic challenge and emerge transformed. As Harper prepared to take on his new role, he sent out one final thought to his crew, to Earth, and to all the beings of the physical realm. Remember this moment. Remember that the greatest strength lies not in power, but in understanding. The cosmos is vast and wondrous, and our journey to explore it has only just begun. With that, Commander Jack Harper, once a simple human from Earth, embraced his destiny as the cosmic bridge, guardian of the balance between matter and energy, and shepherd of a new era of universal cooperation and discovery. As Harper's transformation solidified, the cosmos around him shimmered with newfound stability. The wild, chaotic energy of the rifts now flowed in controlled streams, channeling through his very being. He could feel the pulse of both realms, matter and energy, physical and ethereal, all connected through him. "It's incredible," Harper breathed, his voice resonating across multiple dimensions. He turned to his crew, still aboard the cosmic Voyager, and felt a pang of bittersweetness. They seemed so distant now, separated by more than just physical space. Kraz approached, his form still flickering between matter and energy. "How do you feel, Jack?" "Like everything and nothing all at once," Harper replied, struggling to put the sensation into words. "I can see so much. The past, the future, countless possibilities branching out in every direction." The Primordials, their ancient forms pulsing with curiosity, moved closer. "You have become more than we anticipated, child of matter, a true bridge between realms." As Harper adjusted to his new state of being, alarms suddenly blared from the cosmic Voyager. Zenith's crystalline form vibrated with urgency as he called out, "Commander, we're detecting massive energy surges back in our home universe. The rifts may be stabilized, but something else is happening." Harper focused his expanded consciousness, peering across the vast expanse of space and time. What he saw chilled him to his core. "It's Earth," he realized, his voice tight with concern. "A group of humans, they've They've tapped into the rift energy. They're trying to weaponize it. Kraz's form darkened. Impossible. The power required to harness that energy would be beyond anything we've seen before, Harper finished. But they've done it. And if they succeed in weaponizing it, the damage could be catastrophic. Not just to our universe, but to the very fabric of reality. The cosmic architect's presence made itself known once more, their vast consciousness brushing against Harper's mind. This is the danger we foresaw, the temptation of power too great for mortal minds to wield responsibly. Harper's mind raced. He had just accepted this cosmic role, this destiny to maintain balance between realms. But now, his home, his people, were on the brink of unleashing a force they couldn't possibly control. "I have to go back," he declared, turning to the primordials and the unseen architects. "I can't just watch from afar while my world tears itself apart." There was a moment of cosmic silence, as if the very universe was holding its breath. Then, the architect spoke. "You understand that your return will not be without consequence. The balance you now embody is delicate. To immerse yourself fully in the physical realm again could disrupt everything we've achieved." Harper nodded solemnly. "I understand. But I also know that true balance isn't about rigid separation. It's about understanding, adaptation, and sometimes necessary risk. I may be a cosmic bridge now, but I'm still human at my core. I can't abandon my people in their hour of need." The primordials conferred among themselves, their energy forms intertwining in a dance of light and thought. Finally, they turned back to Harper. "We will assist you in your return. But be warned, your time in the physical realm will be limited. The longer you stay, the greater the risk to cosmic stability." Kraz stepped forward, determination evident in his shifting form. "I'm coming with you, Jack. My experience with both realms could prove useful. Besides, someone needs to watch your back." Harper felt a surge of gratitude towards his former enemy-turned-ally. He turned to his crew, still watching from the cosmic Voyager. "Return to Earth," he instructed them. "Warn the Galactic Concord about what's happening. We'll need all the help we can get." As the ship prepared to depart, Harper focused his newfound powers, preparing for the journey back to physical space. He could feel the cosmic forces swirling around him, the delicate balance he now embodied straining at the prospect of his return. "Are you ready?" The architect's voice resonated through him. Harper took a deep breath, steeling himself for what lay ahead. "As ready as I'll ever be. Let's go save Earth, and hopefully, the entire cosmos in the process." With a surge of energy that defied description, Harper and Kraz were catapulted back towards the physical universe. As they traversed the boundary between realms, Harper couldn't shake the feeling that this mission would be his greatest challenge yet. He was no longer just Commander Jack Harper of Earth, but a cosmic entity returning to his mortal roots. The fate of two realms, and perhaps all of existence, now rested on his ability to stop a threat born from his own people's ambition. As Earth grew closer, Harper silently vowed to do whatever it took to preserve the delicate balance he now understood so intimately, even if it meant confronting the very essence of human nature itself. The transition back to physical space was jarring, even for Harper's enhanced senses. One moment, he and Kraz were hurtling through the abstract geometries of the energy realm. The next, they materialized in low Earth orbit, the blue-green sphere of humanity's homeworld spinning beneath them. Harper's form flickered, struggling to maintain cohesion in the purely physical universe. He could feel the cosmic balance straining, the energy within him yearning to return to its natural state. "Jack," Kraz's voice cut through Harper's disorientation. "We need to stabilize. Focus on your physical form." With effort, Harper concentrated, drawing on memories of his human self. Slowly, his body solidified, though faint traces of energy still danced across his skin. "Thanks," he managed, his voice sounding strange to his own ears. "I'd almost forgotten what it felt like to be limited." Kraz nodded grimly. "We don't have much time. Where's the source of the energy signature?" Harper extended his senses, scanning the planet below. The familiar contours of continents and oceans were overlaid with streams of energy, pulsing with ominous power. There, he pointed, indicating a location in what had once been the Sahara Desert. They've built some kind of massive facility. It's like nothing I've ever seen. As they began their descent, alarms blared in Harper's heightened awareness. A barrage of energy weapons fired from the Earth's surface, streaking towards them with deadly intent. Evasive action, Harper called out, more from instinct than necessity. He and Kraz, in their semi-energy states, easily phased through the attacks. But the implications were clear. Whoever was down there knew they were coming and was prepared to defend their operation at all costs. They landed at the outskirts of the facility, a sprawling complex of futuristic architecture that seemed to pulse with barely contained power. Guards in advanced combat suits patrolled the perimeter, weapons at the ready. "We need to find a way inside," Harper muttered, his mind racing through possible strategies. Preferably without alerting the entire compound. Kraz's form shimmered as he assessed the defenses. These energy weapons, they're derived from Rift technology. Our phasing ability might not work against them. We'll need to be cautious. Harper nodded, feeling the weight of their mission pressing down on him. Every moment they delayed, the risk of catastrophic disaster grew. He could sense the facility's power building, straining against the fabric of reality itself. Suddenly, a familiar voice cut through their deliberations. "Commander Harper, is that really you?" Harper spun to see a figure emerging from behind a rocky outcropping. It took him a moment to recognize the man, given how much his perception had changed. "Lieutenant Lai, what are you doing here?" The young officer, looking haggard and battle-worn, approached cautiously. "We've been monitoring this facility for weeks, sir. After you disappeared into the rift, things on Earth changed. A group calling themselves the Evolutionaries seized control of key governments. They claimed to be working towards humanity's ascension, using the rift energy to uplift our entire species." Harper's jaw clenched. Uplift. They're playing with forces they can't possibly understand. They'll tear reality apart if they're not stopped. Lai nodded grimly. "We've been trying to infiltrate, to sabotage their efforts, but their defenses are unlike anything we've ever encountered. How did you get here, sir? And what happened to you?" Before Harper could respond, Kraz cut in. "We don't have time for a full debriefing. Lieutenant, we need to get inside that facility. Now, the fate of not just Earth, but all of existence depends on it." Lai hesitated for just a moment before his training kicked in. "Yes, sir. We've identified a potential weak point in their perimeter defenses. If we time it right, we might be able to slip in undetected." As they made their way towards the entry point, Harper's enhanced senses picked up a surge of energy from within the facility. "We need to hurry," he urged. "They're about to initiate something big. I can feel it." They reached a section of the perimeter where the energy field flickered intermittently. Lai produced a device that interfaced with a barrier, creating a temporary opening. "Quickly," he whispered. "We've got seconds before the next patrol comes around." Harper and Kraz slipped through, their semi-energy forms adapting to squeeze through the narrow gap. Lai followed, the barrier snapping shut behind them just as a guard rounded the corner. Inside the compound, the air itself seemed to crackle with power. Harper could see streams of rift energy being channeled through massive conduits, all converging on a central structure that pulsed with an otherworldly glow. "That's it," he breathed, his voice tight with a mix of awe and dread. "The focal point of their operation. Whatever they're planning, it all leads there." As they made their way towards the heart of the facility, alarms suddenly blared. A voice boomed over hidden speakers. "Intruder alert. Unknown energy signatures detected in Sector 7. All personnel to battle stations. Initiate Project Ascension immediately." Harper exchanged a grim look with Kraz. Their window of opportunity was rapidly closing. Whatever these evolutionaries had planned, it was about to begin, and they were the only ones who stood a chance of stopping it. With renewed urgency, they raced towards the central structure, knowing that the next few moments would determine not just the fate of Earth, but the very nature of humanity's place in the cosmic order. The final confrontation was at hand, and Harper steeled himself for the greatest challenge of his existence, both as a human and as the newly appointed guardian of cosmic balance. The central structure loomed before them, a towering spire of impossible geometry that seemed to bend the very light around it. As Harper, Kraz, and Lieutenant Lai approached, waves of energy pulsed outward, each one more intense than the last. "We're too late," Lai gasped, his face pale with realization. "They've started the process." Harper's enhanced senses reeled from the onslaught of power. He could feel the fabric of reality straining, the delicate balance between matter and energy threatening to unravel. "No," he growled, determination stealing his voice. "It's not over yet." They burst through the final set of doors into a vast chamber. At its center stood a massive device, a swirling vortex of rift energy contained within a framework of advanced technology. Surrounding it were dozens of humans, their bodies already beginning to shimmer and fade as the energy worked its transformative magic. A figure stepped forward from the group, his form flickering between solid and ethereal. Harper recognized him instantly, Admiral Graves, once his superior officer, now apparently the leader of this misguided attempt at forced evolution. "Jack," Graves called out, his voice resonating with newfound power. "You're just in time to witness the dawn of a new era for humanity. No more will we be bound by the limitations of flesh. We will ascend, become one with the cosmos itself." Harper stepped forward, his own form pulsing with the cosmic energy he now embodied. "You don't understand what you're doing, Admiral. This isn't ascension, it's annihilation. You're tearing apart the very fabric of our universe." Graves laughed, the sound echoing with an otherworldly timbre. "Always so short-sighted, Jack. We're not destroying anything. We're evolving, becoming something greater. Join us. With your connection to the cosmic forces, you could lead us into this new age." For a moment, Harper felt the pull of that offer. The power flowing through the chamber resonated with his own, tempting him with visions of unlimited potential. But then he remembered the wisdom of the cosmic architects, the delicate balance that underpinned all of existence. "No," Harper declared, his voice carrying the weight of his cosmic role. "True evolution isn't about raw power or transcending physical form. It's about understanding, about finding our place within the greater tapestry of existence. What you're doing here will destroy that tapestry." Graves' expression hardened. "Then you leave us no choice. We won't let anyone stand in the way of humanity's destiny." With a gesture, Graves unleashed a torrent of rift energy directly at Harper and his companions. Kraz moved to intercept, his semi-energy form absorbing some of the blast. But the sheer intensity of the attack sent them all reeling. Harper struggled to his feet, feeling the cosmic balance within him fluctuating wildly. He knew he couldn't match Graves' raw power, not in this realm. But perhaps he didn't need to. "Kraz, Lai," he called out, "buy me some time. I need to connect with the device itself." As his allies engaged the transformed humans, drawing their attention, Harper focused his consciousness on the swirling vortex at the chamber's center. He could feel the rift energy pulsing through it, raw and uncontrolled. But beneath that chaos, he sensed something else, an underlying pattern that resonated with his own cosmic nature. Reaching out with his mind, Harper touched the heart of the device. In an instant, he was overwhelmed by a flood of information and power. He saw the evolutionaries' plan in its entirety, their misguided attempt to force all of humanity into an energy state. But he also saw the flaw in their design, the fundamental misunderstanding that threatened to tear reality apart. With newfound clarity, Harper began to reshape the energy flows. He wasn't trying to shut down the device, but to redirect its purpose. Instead of forced ascension, he wove a pattern of balance and choice. Graves, sensing the change, roared in fury. "What are you doing? Stop him!" But it was too late. The vortex of energy shifted, its wild chaos resolving into a harmonious spiral. The humans caught in the transformation process gasped as they felt the change, their forms stabilizing into a state between matter and energy. Harper turned to address them all, his voice carrying the resonance of cosmic truth. This is the true path forward. Not a forced evolution, but a bridge between realms. The power to touch the infinite, but the wisdom to remain grounded in our humanity. As understanding dawned on the faces around him, Harper felt the strain of maintaining cosmic balance lessening. He had done it, had shown humanity a glimpse of its true potential without sacrificing the essence of what made them unique. Graves, his form now fully solid once more, fell to his knees. I was wrong. We were all wrong. What have we almost done? Harper approached his former superior, extending a hand. You sought to elevate humanity, Admiral. There's no shame in that. But true elevation comes from understanding our place in the cosmic order, not trying to break free from it entirely. As the energy in the chamber stabilized, Harper knew their work was far from over. The world would need guidance to understand what had happened here, to learn how to responsibly wield the power they had unleashed. But for the first time since this crisis began, he felt hope, a sense that humanity had taken its first true steps towards a greater cosmic destiny. The bridge between realms had been established, not through force, but through understanding and choice. And Harper, standing at the intersection of matter and energy, human and cosmic, knew that his greatest journey was only just beginning. In the days that followed, Earth was abuzz with activity and confusion. News of the events at the evolutionary facility spread rapidly, despite efforts to contain the information. Humanity found itself grappling with the reality of cosmic forces beyond their previous understanding. Harper, now a living bridge between realms, worked tirelessly to guide Earth's leaders and scientists through this paradigm shift. The facility, once a site of misguided ambition, was transformed into a center for cosmic studies and controlled energy manipulation. It's remarkable, Dr. Lai mused as she reviewed the latest data. The stable energy state you created, it's opening up possibilities we never dreamed of. Faster than light travel, matter replication, even limited time manipulation. Harper nodded, his form shimmering slightly as he maintained his presence in the physical realm. But with great power comes great responsibility. We need to ensure that humanity doesn't repeat the mistakes of the evolutionaries. Kras, who had chosen to remain on Earth as an advisor, added his perspective. The Galactic Concord will be watching closely. Earth's handling of this situation will determine its standing in the cosmic community. As they discussed the path forward, a familiar presence brushed against Harper's consciousness. The cosmic architects, their vast awareness spanning multiple dimensions, made themselves known. You have done well, Bridge, their collective voice resonated in Harper's mind. The balance has been maintained, and a new path of cosmic evolution has been opened. Harper acknowledged their praise, but felt a twinge of concern. But my work here isn't finished. Earth, humanity, they still need guidance. There was a pause, as if the architects were considering his words. Your role as the bridge is crucial, but it need not be solitary. The humans you have helped elevate, those who now exist in a state between matter and energy, they too can serve as conduits of cosmic wisdom. Understanding dawned on Harper. The transformed humans, including Admiral Graves and his followers, could become teachers and guides, helping to ease Earth's transition into a new era of cosmic awareness. With renewed purpose, Harper called a meeting of world leaders and the newly transformed individuals. In a historic address, broadcast globally, he laid out a vision for humanity's future. We stand at a crossroads, Harper began, his voice carrying the weight of cosmic truth. Before us lies a path of unprecedented discovery and growth. But it's a path we must walk carefully, with wisdom and restraint. He outlined a plan for the gradual integration of cosmic knowledge into human society. The transformed individuals would work alongside scientists and leaders, their unique perspective bridging the gap between old and new understanding. Our goal is not to transcend our humanity, Harper continued, but to elevate it. to become not just citizens of Earth, but conscious participants in the cosmic dance of creation. As he spoke, Harper could feel the ripples of his words spreading out across the planet and beyond. The galactic Concord, watching closely, saw a species taking its first mature steps onto the cosmic stage. In the weeks that followed, changes swept across Earth. New technologies, powered by controlled rift energy, began to solve age-old problems of scarcity and environmental degradation. The concept of national borders began to fade as humanity united under a shared cosmic purpose. But with progress came new challenges. Some fear the changes, clinging to old ways of thinking. Others sought to exploit the new powers for personal gain. Harper and his allies worked tirelessly to address these issues, guiding humanity through its growing pains. Throughout it all, Harper felt the constant pull of his cosmic role. The strain of maintaining a physical presence on Earth grew with each passing day. He knew that soon, he would need to return to his place between realms, to continue his work as the bridge on a larger scale. As he prepared for his departure, Harper stood atop a hill overlooking the transformed evolutionary facility, now a shining beacon of cosmic research. Kraz and Dr. Lai joined him, their faces a mix of sadness and understanding. "It's time, isn't it?" Dr. Lai asked, her voice soft. Harper nodded, his form already beginning to shimmer with otherworldly energy. Earth has taken its first steps. Now, it must learn to walk on its own, but I'll always be watching, guiding from afar. Kraz placed a hand on Harper's shoulder, the gesture bridging their different states of existence. "You've given humanity a great gift, Jack. The wisdom to wield cosmic power responsibly. We won't let you down." As the sun set on this chapter of Earth's history, Harper felt a surge of pride and hope. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged transformed, not by force, but by choice and understanding. With a final look at the world he had known, Harper let go of his physical form, his consciousness expanding to encompass the vast cosmic tapestry he now served. Earth, a brilliant blue jewel, took its place among the stars, no longer isolated, but connected to the grand cosmic dance. The journey that had begun with a desperate defense of Earth's atmosphere had led to this moment of cosmic awakening, and though challenges lay ahead, Harper knew that humanity was ready to face them, armed with newfound wisdom and a deeper understanding of their place in the universe. As he merged with the cosmic flows, Harper sent out one final thought to his home planet. "Remember, the greatest frontier isn't out there in the stars, but within ourselves. Keep exploring, keep growing, and never lose sight of the wonder that makes us human." With that, Commander Jack Harper, now the Cosmic Bridge, embraced his destiny, ready to guide not just humanity, but all sentient life towards a future of balance, understanding, and limitless possibility. Years passed in the blink of a cosmic eye. Harper, now fully embracing his role as the Cosmic Bridge, watched as humanity took its place among the stars. Earth had become a beacon of balanced progress, a model for other worlds seeking to integrate cosmic awareness with their own unique cultures. From his vantage point between realms, Harper observed the ebb and flow of galactic events. He saw civilizations rise and fall, cosmic mysteries unraveled, and new questions emerge. Through it all, he maintained the delicate balance between matter and energy, guiding when necessary but always respecting the autonomy of physical beings. One day, as Harper's consciousness drifted through the cosmic tapestry, he felt a familiar presence. Kraz, his energy form now fully realized, approached. "Jack," Kraz's voice resonated across dimensions, "we need your guidance. Earth is facing a new challenge." Harper focused his attention, peering through the veils of reality to see his home planet. What he saw gave him pause. A massive structure, unlike anything of human design, orbited Earth. Its purpose was unclear, but its presence was causing ripples in the cosmic balance. "What is it?" Harper asked, though part of him already sensed the answer. Kraz's form shimmered with concern. "The primordials have returned. They claim it's time for humanity's final test." Harper's cosmic awareness expanded, taking in the full scope of the situation. He could feel the anxiety radiating from Earth, the mix of fear and excitement at this new encounter. But beneath it all, he sensed something else, a readiness that hadn't been there before. "They're not here to force ascension," Harper realized aloud. "This is an invitation." As if in response to his words, a message resonated across the cosmos, aimed not just at Earth, but at all sentient life in the galaxy. "Children of matter and energy," the primordial's collective voice intoned, "you stand at the threshold of a new era. The barriers between realms grow thin. It is time to choose your path forward." Harper understood the gravity of the moment. This wasn't just about humanity anymore, but about the future of all life in the universe. The primordials were offering a choice, a chance for physical beings to embrace a new state of existence willingly. With a thought, Harper manifested himself on Earth, appearing before the United Cosmic Council, the governing body that had replaced old national structures. Dr. Lai, now elderly but still sharp, gasped at his sudden appearance. "Commander Harper," she breathed, "you've returned." Harper smiled warmly at his old friend. "Earth needs guidance one last time. The choice you make now will shape the future of not just humanity, but all life in the cosmos." As Harper explained the situation, he could see understanding dawn on the faces of the council members. This was the culmination of everything they had been working towards since the first encounter with the rifts. "But how can we possibly make this decision for all of humanity?" one council member asked, his voice tinged with awe and trepidation. Harper's form shimmered as he responded, his voice carrying the weight of cosmic wisdom. "You don't have to. The primordials are offering a choice to each individual. What you need to do is ensure that every human has the knowledge to make an informed decision." Over the next few weeks, Earth became a hub of frenetic activity. Information about the cosmic choice was disseminated globally. The transformed humans, those who had been part of the original evolutionary project, played a crucial role in helping others understand the implications. As the day of choice approached, Harper found himself reflecting on the journey that had brought them to this point. From defending Earth's atmosphere to becoming a cosmic entity, every step had led to this moment. The day arrived. Across the planet, humans gathered in groups or sat in solitary contemplation. The primordial structure pulsed with energy, ready to facilitate the transformation for those who chose it. Harper stood atop the same hill where he had bid farewell to Earth years ago. Kraz and the spirit of Dr. Lai, who had passed on but chosen to remain as a guide, flanked him. "What do you think they'll choose?" Kraz asked, his voice hushed with anticipation. Harper smiled, a gesture that transcended his energy form. "That's the beauty of it. There's no right or wrong choice. Some will ascend, embracing a new state of cosmic existence. Others will choose to remain physical, continuing to explore and grow in their own way. And some, I suspect, will find a balance between the two, much like we have." As the cosmic energy swirled around the planet, Harper felt a surge of pride. Humanity had come so far, from a species confined to one world to beings on the brink of cosmic transcendence. Yet through it all, they had maintained the spark of curiosity, compassion, and determination that made them uniquely human. The choice began. Across the globe, individuals made their decisions. Some transformed into beings of pure energy, their consciousness expanding to touch the cosmos. Others remained solid, their bodies unchanged, but their minds open to new levels of understanding. And a significant number chose a path between, becoming bridge entities in their own right. As the process concluded, Earth glowed with a new energy. It was no longer just a planet, but a nexus point between realms, a shining example of cosmic harmony. The primordial's voice echoed one last time. "You have chosen wisely, children of Earth. Your path forward will inspire countless others across the cosmos." As the massive structure began to dissolve, its purpose fulfilled, Harper felt a sense of completion. His journey, which had begun with a desperate battle to save his homeworld, had led to this moment of universal transformation. Kraz turned to him, his energy form pulsing with emotion. "What now, old friend?" Harper's consciousness expanded, taking in the vast tapestry of the cosmos. Now, we guide. There are countless other worlds out there, civilizations approaching their own moments of choice. Our task is to ensure that the balance is maintained, that the bridge between matter and energy remains strong. As they prepared to depart, Harper took one last look at Earth. It shone with a new light, a beacon of hope and possibility in the cosmic night. Humanity had not just survived its trial by fire, but had emerged as teachers and wayshowers for the entire universe. With a surge of cosmic energy, Harper, Kraz, and the spirit of Dr. Ly set off into the depths of space. Their mission was eternal, their purpose clear. They would stand as guardians of the cosmic balance, ensuring that all beings, whether of matter or energy, had the chance to grow, to explore, and to find their own unique place in the grand tapestry of existence. As they traveled, Harper felt a sense of peace wash over him. The journey that had begun with Earth's breathless conquest had led to this, a new era of cosmic harmony. And though challenges would always arise, he knew that the spirit of humanity, that indomitable will to adapt, to understand, and to push beyond perceived limits, would continue to shape the destiny of the cosmos for eons to come. The universe stretched out before them, infinite in its possibilities, and at its heart, the legacy of Earth and humanity shone bright, a testament to the incredible potential that lies within every sentient being, waiting to be awakened and realized in the grand cosmic dance of existence.